Alright, we should be going live now. Hopefully everything's going smooth. Guys in the chat, welcome. What's up, Josh Sheriff? What's up, Lazy James? Brandon, what about Nintendo? I know you're here. A lot of you guys who came by when I had scheduled this stream last night. So definitely pretty hyped to talk about what we're going to be talking about. But anyways, everyone, make sure whoever is actually in the chat now, let me know if things sound good, if you guys can hear the background music, if it's not too loud, if there's any echo or anything like that, let me know now. But yeah, welcome to those who are joining this podcast either in the future or live. I am on Just Restart. I'm joined by my good friend Brandon. What about Nintendo? You can say hello.
Guys,
yeah, the link to his channel is in the description below. So, you know, we've got a few things to talk about today, but what we're focusing, as you can probably tell from the title and the thumbnail, is about Smash, because there's a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct coming in 2 days. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And it's going to be, I don't know, I'm pretty hyped for it, actually. We were talking about a Direct last week, and now we're getting a Direct, but we'll get into that shortly. So, but Brandon, you know, I don't know, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing good. Was not expecting that Smash Direct for sure, so
No.
it's pretty hype. I'm just glad that I prayed to the Nintendo gods. I was like, please do not have a Direct when I'm in North Carolina without my PC for the 18th to the 26th. Like, please don't do it.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Yay!
Well, there still may be a Direct that...
No,
then.
don't.
Yeah. But we'll get into that. Well, actually, I can just say it now. I think that, I think there's a possibility that because we're getting a Smash-focused Direct now, that we still may get, like, a Direct that talks about other things later on, either this month or next month. But at the same time, because we're having a Smash-focused Direct, I almost wonder, is there anything else to even talk about, right? But
Right.
I guess we'll get into that in a little bit. Just kind of let people flow into the chat. Hey, Sav64, hey, Blackstar Dude, Snowman, how you guys doing? But I first want to talk about some Pokemon trademarks that came up. And for the record, for you guys who are just here for the Smash stuff, we're going to get into it in just about 10 minutes. I just want to cover a few other interesting little news tidbits that came out recently, and then we'll be jumping into the Smash discussion in about 10 minutes. So, 15 Kanto Pokemon were trademarked. Let me read them out. I have the article up here. Darn it. Come on, Google. Come on. Okay.
Load.
Okay, so there we are. Alright, so Nintendo's reportedly filed 15 trademarks for Pokemon from Kanto, right? And these are the Pokemon: Golem, Machamp, Raichu, Jinx, Starmie, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, Arbok, Weezing, Persian, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, and Dragonite. Some of those are Megas, some of those are not. But apparently, this sort of thing that happened when X and Y were coming out, before Megas were actually like announced. Like, we had a whole bunch of Kanto Pokemon that were trademarked, and then we got Mega Evolutions for all of them. So something similar may be happening this time as well. I wonder if it's for Pokemon Let's Go, which I'm skeptical of, but maybe it could be for next generation. It's hard to say. What are your thoughts, Brandon? Do you think this is just random trademarks, or do you think there's something to it? And if so, for what game, and when will we see it?
It's hard to say. Since it's only the Kanto Pokemon, and that seems to be the focus of Let's Go. I'd imagine it'd have to be for Let's Go, because I feel like they're not going to really focus that much on, you know, the Kanto Pokemon in Generation 8, because that's just too much
you're
fatigue.
a little loud. For me, I don't know if it's the same for everyone in the chat. Maybe you could move the microphone back, or just lower the decibel level a hint.
It's not very. It's actually lower than it usually is in the podcast.
I don't know.
Why that would be.
Maybe it's my headphones. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I can turn myself down a little bit more. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like it's got to be for Let's Go. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, these things are kind of hard to predict, but because here's the thing, right? With Pokemon Let's Go, like, at first it seems kind of, I don't want to say minimalist, right, in the sense that they're not doing very much for this game, because I think they are, but it's not like being catered to hardcore fans, right? It's being catered to more of a Let's Go people, and going back to Kanto, not having too many things that are different, is, they don't want to alienate people. They want to be inviting. So if you throw in a whole bunch of Mega Evolutions and Z moves and different forms and different stuff like this, which is stuff that I want as a hardcore Pokemon fan, I wonder if that's something that they're trying to stay away from for Pokemon Let's Go because they want it to just be inviting for newcomers and, old-time fans that don't care about all that new stuff.
That is a possibility. I mean, I've mentioned this before, but I never used Z moves when I played Moon because I didn't feel the need for them. I didn't really feel like it was ever a good situation to use them. I didn't understand exactly how they worked, so I never really enjoyed them as a
but you're a noob.
So
yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Well,
so
I guess that goes to your point, right?
Yeah, it goes to my point because I'm kind of the more target audience for Let's Go then. So I personally would like less Z moves and Mega Evolutions. Make just less stuff I don't know about, or at least introduce it slowly instead of just being like, hey, it's a thing you can use. Okay, bye.
Well, I mean, so let's take that road. Let's say they introduce it slowly, right? If that's the case, the way that we're doing it now, they are introducing it slowly because they haven't introduced it at all from what we know about Let's Go so far. And I forget if it was from one of the heads, one of the people in charge of Pokemon Let's Go that have a big say in it. I'm not sure if it was Masuda or the president of Pokemon Company, but I'll have to go back and look it up later. But for any of you in the chat, you may know what I'm talking about. But there was he was asked, when Let's Go was revealed, are there going to be Mega Evolutions and Z moves? And he said, we have nothing to announce at this time. That was not a deconfirmation or confirmation. And I mean, if you're gonna say if there weren't gonna be any, he could have just flat out said no, and he didn't. So then,
right.
When I heard that, I was like, okay, so we are gonna get maybe Mega Evolutions and Z moves at some point in the game, maybe post game or late into the game. But I did not assume that we could get new stuff. Now, can we get new stuff? I think that makes sense if you think of Pokemon Let's Go as a remake, kind of like ORAS, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. We got new Mega Evolutions for that, right? So if they're taking it in that direction, like ORAS, where they added some new forms, some new Mega Evolutions, I think that they even did that for Ultra Sun and Moon. They added some new. Well, they added a few extra Ultra Beasts and a few legendary forms, right? So they've been adding new forms of Pokemon every Pokemon game, even when it's a remake or a reimagining for the last few years. So Pokemon Let's Go would be the first Pokemon game to not have any new forms in 3 or 4 years. So, right. I don't know, it's kind of if you think of it in that way, it kind of makes sense for them to put in Mega stuff, and these trademarks suggest that it's a possibility, but they also could be trademarks that could be for the next Pokemon game that we already know is coming out next year.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It's just not saying that I'm talking. There it is. I changed over to apparently I had my microphone, it auto set it for some reason to my webcam mic instead of my Blue Yeti, so I might sound better now, hopefully.
Yeah, you know what you do.
Over.
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah.
I did, so I was noticing something weird, right, yeah, so this sounds much better. Yeah.
So I heard about half of what you said because I was fixing stuff.
Oof.
And it's Pokemon, so I don't really know everything.
I was just making the point that Pokemon Let's Go, if it brings in new forms of Pokemon, that wouldn't be too weird because the last few Pokemon games have had new forms when it hasn't even been a new generation, like Ultra Sun and Moon and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which was a remake. They added new Mega Evolutions, even though it was just a remake. So Pokemon Let's Go, from that perspective, could do it, but then the other perspective that they don't want to alienate new players. But then they could just introduce it slowly and still have it. And this trademark suggests that possibility. And like Snowman suggested earlier, this could finally be Dragonite's time, because I've been waiting for Dragonite to get a Mega Evolution for so long. That would be... Oh man, I would love to see Dragonite get a Mega Evolution. I wonder how they could do that. But that, there's several possibilities for that for sure.
Right. I think that they should be in the game, at least if you have it maybe you introduce it towards the very end of the game as something to beat the final four, whatever they're called.
Elite Four, brand.
Elite Four, that's what it is. Oh, sorry, I haven't even fought any of those yet.
Ridiculous.
I know I'm a terrible Pokemon fan, by being not one much. Okay. But I think it should be because it helps with the competitive side, doesn't it? So if they have, because they have like the trainer battles online and stuff, so they'll want those to be mechanics in there, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they definitely should be in there.
Yeah. So, you know, we'll see. Because Let's Go has that casual aspect to it. I'm excited for the game regardless, but, you know, I am a little skeptical. But, guys in the chat, what do you guys think? Do you guys think these trademarks, which... Do you think they actually mean we're going to be getting Mega Evolutions for these Kanto Pokemon that were trademarked the same way it happened for X and Y when Kanto Pokemon were trademarked then? Or do you just think this is just, you know, smoke in the air, or maybe just something for the next Pokemon game next year? I don't know, but we're going to move on with topics. But let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yes, Josh, I agree. Pokemon is such a fun game. I love it. No, Sabbath64, the Pokemon is not getting delayed. What happened was originally the slated date was for 2019, or the second half of 2019. Now it's for late 2019. All they did was specify the date a little bit more. But to me, this is non-news, because if you look at the history of Pokemon releases, they come out every single November, every single year. So
it's like never any different.
I always expected Pokemon to come out late 2019 when they said it was coming. There was a game coming out 2019. So it's kind of non-news. But for those who don't know the history of releases, or if there's anything different could possibly happening, I guess we got clarification on that it's pretty much going to be probably a November game like every other Pokemon game. Yeah. Hey, old gamer. Hey, Bobby Ross. From a business sense, it makes no sense to not do something like this, to have more mega forms. I mean, yeah, because it's more merchandising, right? So more merchandising, more forms and things to excite players and fans. Like, yeah, that's just more toys and merchandise.
Build up the hype and stuff, too.
They would make more money, right? And as long as they introduce it slowly, they shouldn't be able if it's done right, you won't alienate players. So there's...
I mean, another bone to throw to the hardcore audience, try to get them in, because they want both audiences
That's
to buy
another
this
thing,
game.
right? That's another thing, exactly. So, like, you know, for those who are on the fence about Let's Go because it seems too casual, throw in Mega Dragonite. Whoa! Look, you're looking pretty fancy there, Pokemon. Let's Go. I'm gonna pick you up now. Exactly. So, maybe that'll be happening. So, Stephen Hell, we are gonna get to the Smash stuff in 5 more minutes. Maybe 10, because the Zelda thing might take a little longer. But, just one random character to throw you a bone.
You know how we are with Zelda.
Yeah. One random character to throw you a bone, though. I think we could be seeing Banjo-Kazooie in Smash Ultimate. That's just my idea. I'll break it down later. Actually, I have videos on it, but, you know, just check the channel if you haven't seen it before. So, let's move on. Unless there's anything else you want to add, Brandon.
No, I don't.
Okay. So, this is not 100% confirmed yet, but there are some sources indicating that free-to-play games like Paladins and Fortnite on Switch, you will not have to pay to play them online once Nintendo's online service gets started. And if you check the Nintendo online website, the games that are listed to be using the online service are mainly Nintendo games like Splatoon, Mario Kart, ARMS, probably, absolutely Smash Brothers, right? So, you know, there are going to be games like Paladins and Fortnite that I'm assuming, especially based off this recent information, that we probably will be able to play them for free, even when Nintendo's online service is, you know, fully functioning. Do you disagree? Do you think something else is happening? What are your thoughts on that, Brandon?
Yeah, I think for sure that free-to-play games, I mean, it's something that not every company does it. Xbox still requires you to have Xbox Live for free-to-play games, but PlayStation, oddly enough, somehow their online is more user-friendly. Somehow. It's like the only thing that is more user-friendly for the PlayStation's online. And that is they don't charge you for Fortnite or Paladins or anything. If you play those games on your PS4, they don't charge you online. I don't have the online service, and I used to play Fortnite online with it on the PlayStation 4 all the time.
I just pay for the online, and I don't even think about it.
Do you even play any games that are required online?
So like I was playing Bloodborne a couple months ago, and I got that game because I have PlayStation Plus, but
Gotcha.
I wasn't playing it for the online features. I was playing it because I wanted the game, and I got it sort of cheaper because, you know, you can download for free if you're a PlayStation Plus member. Well, you could a couple months ago. I think it was back in February. So,
right, but you're paying $60 a year, so it's like...
Yeah, I'm not a big like online gamer.
Right. I also think there's a possibility that a lot of third-party games won't require the online service just because Nintendo's not the one paying for the online functionality of those games, and they want to kind of get, they want it to be a good deal. They want it to be cheap. They want it to be more user friendly and not like just charge people for no reason. That's why they haven't been charging us yet, because they've had no real reason to. Now that they're kind of upping the quality of everything, that's why they're charging. And they're not going to really. I don't think they're in the mindset that they're going to charge us for games that they're not paying for the online for. Unlike Sony and Microsoft, which I think is another thing that they're going to probably tout, like, oh, look at this. So, oh, you don't even have to pay for the online for all these games. Something that just get the edge over PlayStation, Microsoft even more.
Right, but
So,
I think there's potential issue, but I think like Nintendo will address it. So let's say Fortnite and Paladins are gonna be free to play on Switch, which is probably the case, right? So then Nintendo games like Splatoon and Mario Kart will not be free to play come September, a month from now. So then what's gonna happen is the online like infrastructure, is like the amount of players playing on those games going to decrease dramatically, and then basically the ecosystems for those games just die completely, and everyone's just going to play Fortnite and Paladins on Switch? Or is Nintendo going to do something about their online service to make it compelling enough that people actually buy it despite the fee? Even though it's not that expensive, right? It's $20 a year. It's still money, right? Versus no money,
right.
and that's a big difference. $0 to $20. That's an exponential growth rate. So. It's infinite, actually, because zero.
Yep.
Yeah, so, it's, I wonder if Nintendo's going to do anything else to make us feel like that online service is worth it. I think they will.
Right.
They've indicated that.
I mean, people are going to buy it for Smash Online. Smash Online is good. That's a huge audience right there. Pokemon, probably going to have to pay online to play Pokemon battles with other trainers. There you go. That's going to be huge. Like Splatoon, Mario Kart 8. People buy those games every day by the thousands, and hundreds of thousands tens of thousands every week around the world. People are playing these games, and they're playing them online. That's like most of what people play those games for. So people are going to, I don't think they have so many first-party exclusive games that are just absolute amazing, they sell amazing. They have extremely high ratings. There's just a huge fan base for them. I don't think they really have to worry that much. I mean, they have so many different games. Like, you can't play ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart Deluxe, Smash, Pokemon, all these games that are some of the biggest games in the industry. I don't think they really have to worry that much.
Yeah, for sure. But I am interested to see what Nintendo will introduce, and I think we're going to get a taste of that in the Direct this Wednesday, so this is kind of a sneak peek for our predictions. I think we're going to be getting a full-blown online segment, or at least start getting some serious details about the online, how it's going to work this Wednesday in Smash Direct. But before we jump into that, unless you want to add anything to that, I want to get to one more topic before we sort of jump into the Smash discussion.
I'm ready to move on.
Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Just one random thing. Joe, I saw the point you made about the Octolings, how they might be announced for Smash because it's on 8/8/18, because Octo, that's it. Maybe. It's a fun idea, at least,
so
right?
much sense.
They'd be an easy Echo character, too, right? So, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know why the Octolings aren't just skins for the Inklings right at the moment. To be honest.
So, well, I mean, they were just introduced, so like they need some breathing room. But just to move on, because I want to get into the Smash topics. So this Zelda timeline stuff could potentially take a while, potentially not. We'll see. Now we're just gonna focus on the Breath of the Wild aspect, because that's the aspect I think most of us care about. And I'm gonna try to make a video this week where I'll sort of go into more detail about the Zelda timeline changes. So stay tuned for that. But basically, Nintendo updated their Zelda timeline website, and they put in the last few games, a link between Worlds, the Triforce Heroes, and Breath of the Wild into the timeline. And Triforce Heroes and a link between Worlds, just they fit into a place, and they pick their place, and that's where they are. But Breath of the Wild is in all three of the timelines at the very, very end. Mm-hmm. So I theorize this. A lot of people theorize this. We've talked about it before. But what does this mean? Does this mean that they still Breath of the Wild, according to Nintendo's official website, it is at the end of each timeline, because if you don't know, Zelda was divided into 3 different timelines from Ocarina of Time, and at the end of each one, Breath of the Wild is there all the way at the end. So then what does that mean exactly? I have a few ideas, but Brandon, what are your initial thoughts?
It depends. So it's not just in front, like in the middle. It's like 3 different Breath of the Wild, like each at the ends. That's weird.
It's Breath of the Wild. It's the same game at the end of each of the 3 timelines.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I thought actually that it was just one instance of it, like in the middle, and maybe all the lines connected to the back to it. So I was thinking maybe
it doesn't
merged all the time
show
as the
it
one.
doesn't show like them converging together, like in
So
lines.
there's no merge.
Like it's each, you see each separate timeline, and it's at the end of each one.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that just means that no matter what the timeline, Breath of the Wild was destined to happen.
Right.
I guess that's what it has to mean.
It's really interesting because, like, I mean, it kind of excites me because, well, for the record, I've made like 5 or 6 Breath of the Wild timeline videos, and they were each different predictions, different theories for each different timeline. So I guess me being excited that I was right isn't really that valuable because I literally predicted each option at a different time in my life. But the last one I made, I talked about the possibility that it's kind of like, regardless of what timeline, there are certain destinies that need to take place regardless. So the way it looks on the website, right, you could interpret it as that no matter what the circumstance, like you said, Brandon, eventually the events of the Breath of the Wild will take place. So I guess it just, in a way, it is kind of like they're reconvening, but not like the timelines are forming together. It's just more like the events of Breath of the Wild will happen no matter what, because it's Destiny. And Destiny is a big part of the Legend of Zelda series, right?
Right.
So the idea that certain things are destined to happen, like the events of Breath of the Wild, it fits. And it could theoretically happen again in each of the timelines. Or it could be implying that they all form together. Or, third option, then someone just put it there and it will change eventually someday, because that's how the timeline is. They
just kind of threw it there like, we gotta put it on it.
Right. I mean, it's several times that there have been different games that have moved positions, right? And sometimes they've moved not just forward or later in the timeline, but like literally to another timeline. That's happened a few times.
Have they really?
Yeah, yeah. I have to go back and look at each specific one, but it's happened a few times. I think Zelda 1 and 2. I don't want to get anything wrong, but just you have to look it up yourselves, guys. I don't want to say which one because I'm not 100% sure, but it's happened. So yeah, like, you know, there's options here. I like the idea that that's my favorite idea, is just that it's an eventual reality for regardless of the timeline. The events of Breath of the Wild will happen no matter what timeline you're in. Even if there's a 4th or 5th timeline, eventually the events of Breath of the Wild will happen. And if you look at the game design for Breath of the Wild, right? It's designed in a way where players can have a very, very different experience. So think about that for a second. Every player that plays Breath of the Wild has a completely unique experience, and most games can't say that. At least Nintendo games can't say that. Breath of the Wild is designed in that way where players will have a different experience. They go throughout the events of the game in different ways. Some events you may never even see. Some events you may see all of them, may see hardly any of them. It kind of depends on the player. So I feel like if you think about the game's design in that way, like, you know, your own playthrough could be a part of a particular timeline. There could be several different timelines, right? But regardless, there are certain things that will happen no matter what, right? Like Link falling in battle, like the Calamity Ganon, like Zelda, you know, having a big butt. Like, those things are destined to happen. So, you know, like, I think I like the way, in my mind at least, it makes a lot of sense. I like the idea of it, but of course, Nintendo at some point in the future may just like, nope, it was actually over here the whole time, right? And we just didn't want to reveal it. So,
yeah. I was kind of thinking that they were actually merged it all into one timeline. That's kind of what I predicted. So, I mean, I guess it still could technically be the case because Nintendo's weird, but it doesn't seem to be what it is. It seems to be more in line with what you're saying, that it's an eventuality. That's just what it looks like to me. But the timeline is crazy. I can never remember any of the which games go into which. I always have to go back and look. But I like the timeline. I like the idea that, you know, of different things. And there is a new They kind of have the Hyrule Historian stuff, which has a lot of timeline information and stuff. Well, there's a new book that's coming out, which supposedly goes like really deep into like the story and the timeline placement or something to that effect in the for Breath of the Wild, which is coming out in November. I actually had that pre-ordered, so I'm wondering if maybe that will go into exactly where it is in the timeline.
Yeah,
At
some
least
people
according to the
speculate
letter.
about it. I feel like what's gonna happen is gonna be pretty much what's on the website. There may be a couple like little blurbs or lines that might give a bit more perspective on it, but I don't think you're gonna get the book and it's gonna be like, "Hey, Breath of the Wild is actually in the Fallen Hero timeline this whole time, and everyone else is wrong." I don't think that's gonna happen. It's gonna
Right? No, yeah.
it's gonna be what's
I
on the
think so.
website pretty much, but there might be a couple little details thrown throughout the book that might give people some perspective on it that will encourage conversation, but won't ultimately change the debate. That's what I
Right.
think.
And they had an interview, and I didn't have time to read through it all the way, but they had an interview with one of the Zelda developers, and they kind of hinted the fact that like they weren't, it was up in the air still for some reason about exactly where it was placed. So I don't even think Nintendo fully knows. I think that they might be leaning towards that eventuality kind of idea, but they're still not exactly sure all of exactly what's going on. So
When you say they, do you mean the Zelda team?
yeah, just like Nintendo themselves,
I,
because
I, I
they
actually I think this time they actually do, and I think in the past they didn't. But I think as of Skyward Sword, once they decided to come out with Hyrule's story, from that point on, when they created a game that was the beginning of the Zelda timeline, that was the moment they decided to pay more attention to how th're placing the games in the timeline.
right,
But they constructed Breath of the Wild in a way where it seems like they don't care because they intentionally put details from it's like almost every single Zelda game intentionally. And if you go back and watch the interviews, it's not like they said, "Oh, we don't know." Like they're being coy. Like the way they designed Breath of the Wild, in my opinion, it was intentional to for it to be confusing because they wanted to inspire conversation and debate. Like they put all these different landmarks and statues and ruins all over the place for us to be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that." And they wanted us to have different experiences and to have that conversation because they understand the Zelda timeline debate is it's a big part of the fandom, right? It's a big part of the Zelda experience. So I think they play to that now. I don't think that they're unaware. I think at one point they were, but I think as of 2011 they were not. Like from 2011 onward,
right.
they've actually been conscious. They've made conscientious decisions of how they're going to handle timeline decisions. But the way they did it is also kind of a cop out because they didn't pick a timeline place. They just construct the game in a way where you can sort of interpret it as you will. So
Right. It's
yeah,
weird. It feels like they were just like, "Wait, what do we want in this game? Oh, we want this, and we want this other thing." But it's like, "Oh, but that's for another time." It's like, "Ah, screw that. Just keep going.
yeah.
Just put everything in. We'll figure something out."
Well, that's the thing, though, man. Like, and that's why I had so many different timeline videos talking about different possible. I mean, when I made a theory, it wasn't necessarily that I believed the theory, right? But just kind of just considering that other perspective. And like, I covered each timeline at one point because there's a good amount of evidence covering each one, and just basically the game has details to make anyone happy. No matter what kind of part of the Zelda fan base you are, there's something in Breath of the Wild that will appease to that. I think, at least in terms of the history. So I don't know. It's really cool. But you know. I'm going to stick with the eventuality theory that no matter what, the events, no matter what timeline you're in, the events will lead to Breath of the Wild.
I'd say that's the one that makes the most sense with their
Yeah.
current timeline placement, so I'd agree.
Yeah, let's see what you guys in the chats are saying. I saw someone talk about, how do I scroll up? What do I think the new Final Destination will look like? That's a good question, Matthew. That's a really good question. I think we saw like a little clip of it in one of the images. I'm not sure, but I saw someone bring up like Dragon Break, like from Elder Scrolls Snowman. Yeah, like in Elder Scrolls they have like a Dragon Break where the timelines sort of converge. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but it is similar. So I'll
I've
have
never
to.
seen the timeline for.
Well,
S-
just Google Skyrim Dragon
Chronicles.
Break and you'll start to get some information on it. But it does kind of explain how there's like different timelines that sort of converge.
Right.
Yeah. Let me see. We're talking about Zelda skins. Breath
There's
of
a
the
whole
Wild Zelda
conversation.
has a huge nose. I've never noticed her nose being huge. Maybe it's because my
Is
nose
it?
is
I
huge.
have to look.
Maybe I'm like I don't care. I don't big noses don't bother me. I'm like, it's probably because my nose is big.
My nose is kind of big. Her nose is not giant. Her nose is normal.
I'll tell you what's giant. No, I'm just kidding. On QPG. But so
No,
let's move on to the final topic. But if you guys want to bring up any other points about the Zelda timeline or anything, just put them in the chat and hopefully we'll get to them. Although we usually try to address the chat in between topics. But anyways, let's get into the Smash stuff. So the Smash Direct's happening this Wednesday, and there's quite a few different things we're going to be talking about, and we sort of touched on it earlier, but I didn't expect it to be like Smash focused. That kind of took me by surprise. Like Brandon, you were telling me you didn't expect it to be like, you were literally saying no one predicted this, right? Like no one predicted Smash
I didn't
focused
see
Direct.
anybody predict it. I didn't see a single person predict the Smash Direct this early.
No,
not one person.
No. But there were people predicting that it would that there would be a Direct on a Sunday, which has never happened. Yeah. I still think that one was
people
dumb.
be tripping.
Yeah. But so, how do you think they're gonna present like this Smash Direct? Do you think it's gonna? Well, actually, let's cover this. How big do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be like a 20-minute Direct, 15-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute? That's happened for a couple Smash Directs before.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 20 to 25 minutes. That's what I'm thinking. I also think there's in my opinion there's 3 different ways that this Direct can go. 3 distinct ways. So one, this is like the only Smash Direct they're gonna do, and it's gonna be a massive blowout of everything we need to know. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's too early, but it's a possibility. Number 2, there's gonna be another Direct coming closer to the release. This one is not that good. It's just kind of filler-ish. But the next one is big and super hype and a blowout. I don't think that's going to happen either. I think this one's going to be actually pretty good. So then I think it's going to be number 3, which is there is another Direct coming, but they're kind of trying to split the different announcements and hype of everything that they're showing off but more evenly between the 2. So that's kind of what I'm thinking this is going to be. So it's going to be like 20, 25 minutes. We're going to get like another 20 to 25 minute Direct, maybe like October or early November, something like that. So that's what I'm thinking.
It's an interesting point. Like, so that's one of the things, right? Like, I wouldn't expect like a Smash focused Direct this soon because the game's not coming out until December, right? But that makes me think: are they doing this because they need to keep us interested because they have nothing else to talk about our show, which is a possibility. I'm still kind of holding out hope. They have a few more announcements for this year, like Mario Kart DLC, Mario Odyssey DLC, maybe that Metroid Prime Trilogy HD that everyone's been kind of hoping for. There's not any real rumors about it from what I hear, but everyone from all around the industry is kind of talking about, oh, we want this, like everyone. So I wonder why. So maybe there is that Direct still happening, right? And maybe that there is just so much Smash information that they need to have a couple like dedicated Smash Directs. So if that's the case, let's assume there is another Direct that they're gonna have a couple other nice announcements, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. But so they're gonna have this Direct, and I think the way I think it'll happen, I think we'll see a couple new modes. One of which they'll talk about some of the online stuff, and some of the single player stuff, and we'll get a couple character reveals. I think that's what we'll get. And then they'll do like, they'll do some character and stage breakdowns as well because they like doing that. They're not going to just be like, oh, there's these characters, there's these stages, there's these modes, call it a day. Like they're going to go into detail about a lot of these different things.
Yeah, they're going to be like, here's the returning stage. Here's how it differs from this other form.
Yeah, exactly. And if they show off like a couple new characters, they'll be like, oh, this character's side B does this, his up B does this, his down B destroys the universe.
So it makes sense.
Right, exactly. So they'll stretch it out. Like, there'll be a good amount of information, but it's not going to be like, oh, we're going to reveal 10 characters, 70 modes. Like, no, like, it's going to be a good amount of information, but they're not going to completely reveal everything. And so I could see this Smash Direct potentially, if they do break down modes, maybe they do break down, like, a few. Like, we'll have a decent idea of the game's structure. And at that point, right, we'll basically have a decent idea of the game, but we just won't know about some characters and stages and items. And then the way it could work is that we'll get like a 50 facts or 100 facts about Smash Bros. Ultimate, like the same one we got for Wii U and 3DS, like a month before the game comes out. I could see that happening. I don't think we'll get another normal Smash Focus Direct. I think this is the only Smash Focus Direct, and then it'll be like 100 facts sort of thing, and then we'll be getting like tidbits with other directs throughout the year. Yeah, that's what I think. Well, I mean, the 100 facts thing, like the way that was huge. That was a lot of information. Like it was just a different style of direct. So,
yeah.
You know,
you think that's what this is gonna be?
No,
or you
I don't think this is gonna be. I think
So
we'll get something like that, like
later.
right before the game comes out, or like
Okay.
a month or 2 weeks before the game comes out. We'll get something like that, which is basically a Smash Focus Direct, but it's like a different style, right? I think we get something like that, and then, but we're gonna get this is gonna be like a normal style direct, but just all about Smash, and then we'll maybe get like 1 or 2 directs in between then and now, and they'll just be like, talking about other stuff with Nintendo, and have a couple of Smash announcements like thrown into there. And then there'll be some surprises when we actually get the game. I don't actually think we're gonna have every single character revealed by the time the game comes out. I think there's gonna be a couple of surprises. There may be some data mining, because I also think we're gonna get like a Smash test, right? I think that's definitely gonna happen. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we get 2. I think Splatoon had 2 test fires, right? Did it?
The original?
No,
it
Splatoon
did, but
2.
not before.
Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2.
I think it did.
I don't remember.
Hmm.
It might have. I know Splatoon 1 had one before it released, and they had several others after it released.
I think there's gonna be 2 Smash tests. I think I'm kind of hoping actually we get one like at the end of this month, right? Like they're gonna announce it at this direct, and then we're gonna get a Smash test. I think that might happen, and then we'll get another one closer to release, and it'll just go on for like a weekend. Yeah, I think that might happening.
That's possible. I'm wondering if they're worried about data mining though. So
They may, so which is why they may have like a dedicated demo that kind of takes away. They might just be careful about how they designed the demo.
Yeah, I mean, but the way most of them do the demos, it's like a special ROM, and then certain things are locked off. It's kind of like almost like redesigning the whole game in a way to do a demo like that. From what I hear, that's why most developers don't do it. It's because it's like a lot of work. So they could do it. It's possible.
It's Smash.
But would they do it?
So it's the thing, like, because it's Smash, like, we may not get any, but I feel like they did it for Orange, they did it for Mario Kart. Well, they didn't do it for Mario Kart, but they did it for Splatoon. They did it for Mario Tennis Aces. So all the new multiplayer games for Nintendo, they've done it. I feel like Smash is not going to be any different.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they might announce it later, though. Like, it might be closer to release. Like, if they do announce one today, I don't think it's going to be like, oh, guys, next weekend, play Smash. Like, I think it's going to be like, hey, guys, in 2 months, when it's close to release, is the Smash test.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think we are going to get a Smash test, and we're going to hear about it announced on Wednesday, and it's going to be sometime in September to sort of back up Nintendo's new online service.
Okay. That can make sense.
Yeah, and then we will get a second one closer to release. That's why that's my prediction. That's one of my predictions that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like they need something to back up the online service that's coming out next month. They don't have anything.
Right.
They have nothing.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have any new games coming out.
Sushi Striker DLC. No.
Yeah,
man.
they don't have anything new. Yeah, obviously I'm gonna get it because I do a lot of live streams and stuff playing Mario Kart and Splatoon and stuff online. But for a normal person, they might just be like, I just won't get it until Smash.
Right.
Wait.
But I mean, if you have that Smash test, right? Like that might get people to jump on a lot sooner.
It's true.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility.
Yeah,
I could see why they wouldn't though. But
no, for sure, because data mining is a total issue, and like you said, creating a separate demo that doesn't have those assets that people can data mine is really hard. So,
especially if they want to do another direct, they're not going to want you to data mine it like a month or two before they have this, top 100 facts or whatever, top 50 facts about Smash Direct. And then you already know.
That is another argument, right? Because like, if they do have like a test Smash in September, like I'm predicting, and the game gets data mined, then we'll know about almost everything in the game, and it will only be September, and the game comes out in December. Like, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
That would be pretty bad.
They'd have to make it to where it can't be data mined, for sure. Like, 100% no possible way that it could be data mined. Otherwise, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys in the chat think? Do you guys think that they will create a demo that will not be easily data mined? Or they will just not like even do a Smash test because of that, or will they do a Smash test and still release a demo and just let it get data mined regardless? I think those are the three options, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking what they probably will do is release a demo way later, like right before release. Like a month or within a month of release. But I think if they could get one that's not data mined, not able to be data mined, I think it would be really smart to get one out in September, like you were saying, for the online.
Right, but it's just kind of like, is it realistic? Is it feasible?
As somebody who's not a developer, we don't really know the full, challenges of doing such a demo.
So I imagine even if I was a developer, I'm not a Nintendo developer, I don't understand that ecosystem and all the challenges they have to deal with, right, and their infrastructure, which adds even more layers to it. So it is hard to predict. It kind of depends on what's happening in that development environment, and is it feasible? I don't know, but I will say this. The Smash team is huge, right? Like, they have a lot of assets, they have a lot of manpower. It's conceivable, but we'll see. We'll see. For sure, there's definitely a lot of reason for them to not do it soon, but...
I'm seeing a surprising amount of people who say they don't want a demo in the chat, which has me very confused.
Well, like, if I understand it though, if you're worried about data mining,
right?
Yeah, and I okay with waiting for a game when it's ready too. Like, I guess I'm mature, right? Where I'm like, oh, I can wait 4 months. I'll be fine.
I could wait for Smash,
yeah.
Except I want to know how the online is. That's the only reason. Like, if the online wasn't in question, if the Wii U had this great online, I was like, of course Smash Ultimate's gonna have a great online. Then I'd be like, oh, whatever, I'll just wait. But knowing that Smash, like, how bad Smash Online's been, I'm like, I have to have this demo. I have to know if Smash Online's gonna be any good. Because it's something I'm gonna want to stream and play with subscribers and stuff online. And if it sucks, then I'm not gonna be happy.
Yeah. I don't know, like, like Bobby Ross is saying, like, he's saying that, to be honest, I don't really want the Direct. I just want to find out this myself. Like, imagine seeing the Shadow of Sora as a surprise. Like, that's an interesting point, though. Like, I really enjoyed Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl because, well, okay, Brawl, I follow Smash Dojo every day, but especially Melee, like, when I saw those silhouettes of certain characters, I was like, oh my god, who's that? Who is that? Even in Smash 64, when the couple that you could unlock, I was like, who is that, right? Like, that having those surprises.
Who in America knew who Ness was?
Exactly,
like,
right? Like,
nobody.
Having that surprise is really cool, so I would love it if we could go into Smash Ultimate come December 7th, and there'll be at least a couple things that I'll be like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming, right? Like, I want that. So, hopefully...
I do, too.
And having a demo can take away from that to an extent, or even having a Smash Direct where they're always talking about more and more information. And that was another thing. With Brawl, they showed off a lot of information. With Smash Wii U and 3DS, they showed off a lot of information. And by the time I got the Wii U version, because I didn't get the 3DS version, I pretty much knew I literally knew everything in the game already. There was nothing in the game that surprised me about Smash Wii U and 3DS, and that was really disappointing because they had so many directs, covering different parts of the game that there was nothing to surprise me. And so I understand that argument, and actually I am kind of hoping that we don't get like an extensive blowout of Smash, like to the extent that Smash Wii U and 3DS was.
Oh, I definitely understand that point. Mostly for me, it's like characters, though. I mean, certain stages can be pretty cool to unlock, but mostly for me, it was the characters. But I do want to know all the modes. I want to know all the modes. I want to know how good the online modes are. I want to know how good the single player modes are. I don't want to be left in the dark about that.
Right. Well, they can tell us about the single player mode without spoiling the single player, right? Like we can learn about like the beginning or just a couple like pieces here and there. Like I want information. I just don't want them to spoil everything, right? I don't want to know about every secret. I want a lot of surprises, but they can still share information. The game is huge. This might be one of the biggest like Nintendo game yet, like in terms of like sheer amount of content. Like so, you know, there's tons of information they can share and still have tons of secrets afterwards. But it kind of depends how they handle distributing that information, sort of hyping up the game. I think they did a good job with. I'm trying to think what game they did a good job of like not spoiling everything. Xenoblade. Well, actually, I chose not to like watch every demo.
I watched everything, and they did an amazing job of not spoiling like anything with that game.
Breath of the Wild.
I think they did a really good job.
I think they did.
They only really showed the Great Plateau.
Right. Yeah. You know what? They did a great job with Breath of the Wild because that is true. And the Great Plateau has so much in it already, right? That there's so much there, and even when you explore it for yourself for the first time, you're still finding stuff, even with that blowout of information. Right. And when the game finally came out, there was so much more to find and discover. So yeah, they did a good job with Breath of the Wild. I think they did an okay job with Mario Odyssey because you got to see a lot of the kingdoms already, and there was only a few more kingdoms that you were like, oh, I didn't see this coming, right? But most of them, I kind of already knew what they were. So Mario Odyssey, I think they didn't do as good of a job, but it still felt fresh and new. But there was still, you know, I wanted more surprises with the stages. Yeah.
And the only really surprise I can think of in that game was the Ice Kingdom. I forget what it's called.
Is there two Ice Kingdom? No, there's a Water Kingdom.
The one that has like the polar bears in it.
Well, there's an Ice Kingdom and there's polar bears. You mean the ice
polar bear-like creatures?
The roundy ball. I forgot their names. Yeah, the Eskimos.
Guys. So those dudes, I always thought they looked like polar bears. I haven't played that area.
Eskimo bears. I don't know. Yeah,
they're creatures of some sort. That one and then Bowser's Castle is the only two I can really think of that they didn't show off.
I mean, the moon stuff. There's that.
They showed that off though, didn't they?
Did they?
They kind of assiduated that you could go there. They didn't really show off what it looked like.
They showed Mario on the moon. It was pretty easy to kind of...
They showed Mario on at one point.
Was it the moon or was it the Cappy Kingdom?
It was... I think he was on the moon too.
I don't know.
I know he was in the Cappy Kingdom, but I think he was on the moon as well.
But anyway, I'm not sure. But I guess the point is that Nintendo has been hit or miss with spoiling their games, right? Like they've done a good job with some of them and an okay job with others and a bad job with others. So hopefully with Smash Ultimate, they don't spoil too much. I think they've been decent so far, right? But now we're getting a Smash Focus Direct, so I guess we'll see, right? We won't really know until we get the game, right? And see how much there is to discover.
I think if they... I don't think they're going to hold back any characters. I think if they do hold back characters, it's kind of the day and age where if they hold back a character and it doesn't get in, people are going to lose their marbles. It's going to be like a big thing. And then people who get the review are probably just going to spoil it anyways. That's probably how the characters are going to be. Because they're just going to want to be that guy who gets all the internet fame by letting everyone know that this character they were mad about is actually in the game. That's what's going to happen. So I think they could keep some stages secret, though. I think if they show off, if they show off a Mario Odyssey stage, they have the Breath of the Wild stage, the Splatoon 2 stage, but that doesn't mean that there could be only one Splatoon 2 stage, Breath of the Wild stage, Mario Odyssey stage. There could be several different ones that you have to unlock. So I think they could keep those secret. And obviously, if there's a story mode with actual like cutscenes and things that happen, that's gonna be like they'll tell us that it's there. They're not gonna spoil everything in that. So that will be something that won't get spoiled in a direct. But I think most everything. Characters, most of the stages, all the modes are gonna be shown. They're not gonna be. You're not gonna go into Smash Ultimate and be like, I didn't know this mode existed. They're gonna be shown, and if it's not shown in direct, somebody's gonna show it off in a review. Okay.
So to that point, what characters do you think they'll show off in the Smash Bros. Direct? Because I'm seeing Victory 19 C's talking about maybe they could show off a new Xenoblade stage, which I would love. And if they do it, I think it would be from Xenoblade 2, and it'd be with Rex and Pyra. that would be awesome for me. And actually, that might be a good way to hype up the Torno DLC as well, to show off Rex and Pyra.
I was thinking about
Smash
that.
Direct, right? That might be a good idea. What do you think?
I would love it if that happened. But, I don't know, it's pretty 50-50 for me. But for some reason, I'm just slightly leaning towards them being DLC for some reason.
Well, yeah, a lot of people made the argument that because the plans for Smash Bros. Ultimate were made in 2015, that any characters from games coming out after 2015 aren't going to make the cut unless they're DLC. I've heard that point made several times by several people, and I disagree with that, because just because they had a core design, overall, like, they had a plan for the game, that doesn't mean they knew every character that was going to be in the game. Characters are cut, characters are added throughout the course of development. Development is fluid, and if they're probably, they know, they can get inside information about the development of other games, throughout the course of development, and they may have an idea of a couple characters from newer games that they may want to bring into Smash Brothers. Like, that can all happen. And on top of that, Xenoblade 2 came out 2017, right? Yeah, at the end of 2017. That's a whole year.
December 1st,
and
enough.
Sakurai loved Xenoblade 2. He loved it, right? He may want to add Rex and Pyra, and if he does, and he decides to do it, at the beginning of 2018, that's more than enough time to create one character. We're not talking about building a whole game in less than a year. We're talking about building a character in a year, right? And if you already knew that he was going to build a couple new characters in early 2018, one of those spots could easily go to Rex and Pyra. So I think it's definitely possible. But at the same time, I also understand that maybe they didn't plan for it, and that they could be characters that come for DLC later on, right? That's also, I mean, that's I'm not saying that I'm right no matter what. I'm just simply saying that it's possible either way. So
I could see them holding it off for DLC, just because maybe there's people saying that they could have Xenoblade Chronicles X stuff. There could have been another original Xenoblade character planned to go into Smash Ultimate already, and maybe they're like, okay, there's enough Xenoblade Chronicles. We plan to add, some other Fiora's, but Fiora wouldn't be a playable character. Somebody else is a playable character
people talked
already.
About Elma from Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah. So they don't want to add 2 new ones if they could just add a new one in DLC. So that could be a reason, I think.
Personally, if they add Elma, hey, I'm down with that. But I personally don't think it's gonna be Elma. Even if, forgetting about Rex and Pyra, right? My problem with Elma is that, okay, spoiler alert, but I don't want to spoil it. For those who didn't play Xenoblade X, I don't want to spoil anything. But to put it simply, the characters in Xenoblade X aren't very animated. They don't have a lot of personality, and I just don't think there's that much effort put into their individuality to make them any of them interesting enough to be its own Smash character. And in my opinion, that includes Elma, even though I did like Elma and I enjoyed her in the story for Xenoblade X. I mean, if they wanted to, they could get crazy with a mech, but that's a giant mech. Like, Ridley's one thing, but a giant mech, that's a whole other thing, right? So maybe I could see Elma as an assist trophy with her mech, right? I could see that. But I don't see Elma being. She's not my top pick for a roster placement in Smash Ultimate.
I don't think Elma would be in the game either, but I think that.
But I mean, if there's going to be any character, I think it would be Elma from Xenoblade X. But I don't think even Elma is enough.
I think they could have picked somebody else from the original game. I think there's plenty of other ones from the original game.
What about a Hero Pawn? Ricky. Yeah.
Ricky would be dope. I think they wouldn't include anybody who's in his final Smash, though. So Fiora, Dunban, Ricky.
They're all in the final Smash, yeah.
Escapes me.
Did we see Schultz final Smash in the...
Yeah, we do. They specifically talked about just to say that Fiora is now...
Well, they put her into it, right, yeah.
Yeah. So they could pick somebody outside of that, which there are some big characters.
Is Ryan in Schultz?
He is.
So Ryan, Dunban, Ricky, and now Fiora are in his final Smash, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the other girl? She's not a fairy, but she's like a dragon lady.
Yeah.
Fiona?
I don't think she's in
I don't remember her name.
No.
I don't remember. It's been so many years.
I don't know.
I haven't played Xenoblade X in 4 or 5 years. Xenoblade, no, not Xenoblade
The
X.
original Xenoblade?
Xenoblade, right, for
Yeah.
the Wii.
Yeah, she could be. I don't think she's in it, and she could actually be a good character for Smash.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think there's so many good characters in Xenoblade that they could pick. Like, if so many, so they could have. Yeah, Melia, exactly.
Melia, there you go. Yep.
She could
Yeah,
be in
Victory
Smash.
19, yeah,
I don't
Melia.
think she's in it. I don't think she's in the final Smash for Shulk, so she could be in there. There's a possibility that they picked Xenoblade Chronicles X character for some reason, even if they're not that memorable. They're still I think they'd still like be okay in Smash. They wouldn't be the best, but they'd still be like, okay, I accept that in Smash. That makes sense. Especially if they want to put, which I think they would, and they could show off in this direct, would be Xenoblade Chronicles X stage, because that needs to happen, because that game has the best world of any of the Xenoblade games.
I'm not sure if I agree. Like, I love the world of Xenoblade. I love the world of Xenoblade X.
At least in exploration
I'm just trying to think, like, because what I mean, there's Noctilum. Whew. Noctilum would look amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, I would like Noct. Yeah, you know what? Give me a Noctilum stage. Give me a Noctilum stage.
All the biomes are cool in that game. Actually, I like them all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they're way more fun to explore than the boring ass Xenoblade Chronicles 2 stages. Those are pretty boring to explore. I gotta admit, like, the story in that game is really good. Running around and just exploring is not very fun. There's not much to do and see, and the movement is very clunky in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's not
I'm trying to think of
It's so much better than X.
I'm trying to think of what would be the best place to have from. Like, you can't do it. It's not like you can do it on the World Tree, right? Because there's nothing like that looks like a great stage for that. Like, maybe I don't even remember the names of the areas. The giant goat land.
The first place you go?
Yeah. Like, having that giant head in the background would be really cool. But then again, having just green hills and woods wouldn't be too different from Gower Plains, right? So, the stage for the original Xenoblade. Yeah. I think Noctilum from Xenoblade X would be a good fit.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be super exotic.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fit.
It really shows off the more alien focus of Xenoblade Chronicles X.
True. Although, there is the Rex's homeworld, or home area, that, having like a cloud sea that you could fall into, right? Like, that, there might be a potential stage there.
Place is pretty much...
Or the stage could be on his grandpa. The stage could be on his grandpa.
Yeah, actually, that's what I thought you were saying at first. And
when
you said Rex's home, I immediately thought of the grandpa, and I was like, wait, he has an actual home. But that Letheria, I think is what it's called. You can tell that is the same engine, the same assets as Noctilum. They're just in a different rendered in a different way.
Right. No. They just
kind of. So they can't have both. Like, if they had Noctilum for X and then they had Letheria.
Why not? Why?
That'd be weird.
Smash Ultimate. Let's have both.
Because I would rather somewhere else than Xenoblade Chronicles 2 though. Because if they're both, they both look very similar.
Well, what if we get one stage is on Rex's grandpa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is Noctilum.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I wouldn't want Noctilum and Letheria.
And Rex's grandpa could be one of those stages. It's a roaming stage, right? So you could see him roam and fly around some of the Titans, right? And get a good close-up look at them as they're moving. And that'd be really cool. And you can still incorporate the Cloud Sea, right? I think the Cloud Sea would be an interesting mechanic. It'd be kind of like falling in water, but slightly different. So, I think that could work. And there could even be points where the clouds come up and it creates not like entire invisibility, but some clouds just come out at different points, maybe creating different platforms, So I think, I really like the idea of Rex's grandpa being a stage.
That sounds really good, actually. Noctilum for X, Rex's grandpa for 2.
And then Elma in a mech as an assist trophy, and then Rex and Pyra as a new character. Yeah. But will that all be showed off in the Smash Direct? Hell no.
Probably not.
No. But I do think there's a possibility we could get some Xenoblade content because of Torno DLC, right? Having them close together.
I think they would show the X stuff to be honest. Just because I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is mostly gonna be DLC.
Well,
I think
if
that they
you're
would
wrong, though, but if you're wrong, I'm not saying you are wrong, but if you are wrong, then there will be Xenoblade 2 content in Smash Ultimate. It would make more sense than having the Xenoblade X stuff, because Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade 2 DLC makes more sense than having Xenoblade X stuff. But I think the effect would still be similar, but I feel like if they had to choose between the two, show off the Xenoblade 2 stuff first.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to be wrong. I'm so split. I'm very 50-50 on it, too. So I'm not, like, completely, like, it has to be DLC. But I'm not, like, it's going to be in the game either.
This is random, but I'm going to... Because I just saw Alfonso, how you doing, man? Talk about Dark Samus incoming, and he reminded me of an idea I had that is not going to happen. But I want it to happen. It's not going to happen. So, like, you know how we kind of want an Nintendo Direct, right? But we're getting a Smash Focus Direct, which is still cool. Mm-hmm. What if the Smash Focus Direct still talks about other stuff? Like, what if...
I was thinking about this, actually.
Like, what if, like, for example, here's New Donk City. I think we're gonna see New Donk City in the Smash Direct on Wednesday. We're gonna see New Donk City, and then new Mario Odyssey DLC. Here's a quick trailer. It's coming out in a few weeks, right? Then they go to more Smash stuff, and then like, Tornado DLC. Here's Rex and Pyra, right? And then look, Dark Samus. Wait, here's Metro Prime Trilogy HD, right? Like that would be, woo.
That'd be beyond hype.
It'd be better than E3.
There is like a 5% chance that could happen. Very low.
Yeah, there's 1% chance. 1%.
I mean, it'd be like what we need. Like that's what E3 should have been. I don't know who at Nintendo did not have that as their E3 ideas, but that's what E3. Everyone predicted that, and it didn't happen. But it could happen for this Direct, but I don't see it. But it would be so hype if they did. I mean, I think people would prefer that somehow over, like, 2 separate Directs.
Yeah, but again, 1% chance probably not going to happen. So let's focus, I guess, on predictions that may happen. But actually, Bobby Ross, I don't know if I agree. So Bobby Ross is saying that there wouldn't be a third Samus. I guess... Well,
one Samus? Oh, there's Zero Suit.
There's Zero Suit Samus, but they play completely different. And I think Dark Samus could be an Echo character, but it could be kind of like a Captain Falcon to Ganondorf sort of clone, where the moveset's still the same, but you see, like, you know, bluey, huey stuff that adds, like, maybe a goo. And that's the thing, like, because Dark Samus is actually really different than Samus, but they have the same form. And Dark Samus isn't Samus at all. For those who aren't Metroid fans who don't know, Dark Samus is not Samus. It's not even really related to Samus at all. It just stole her suit to take on that form. Like it's actually a giant monster, right? That condensed itself. So I don't like the idea of calling it third Samus. The only annoying thing about it is the fact that it would technically say Samus in the select screen, so to that point I see what you're saying, but at the same time we have Link, Young Link, Toon Link, although Link is more important than Samus, I guess, in terms of popularity. So, you know, I guess if anyone's gonna get, you know, gets a pass would be Link. But
I think the only reason that Young Link came back is because they're going for the everyone is here. Otherwise, I don't think he would have returned, because he's just not that different, to be honest, from Toon Link.
Yeah, well, he has a fire arrow.
Oh,
it's fire. Yeah. Well, once we get some more hands-on time with Smash Ultimate, maybe we'll discover a couple other differences between Young Link and Toon Link. Mm-hmm. And their final Smash could be different too.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm just saying, like, it's not, like, so different that they're like, we have to put him in here. So much fandom.
Right. I mean, if we want to talk about Mario's, actually, we have Mario, we have Dr. Mario, and we have Luigi, right? So Luigi is a clone-ish character of Mario. Over the years, he's become less and less clone-like, right? And I consider them completely separate characters, but, you know, they were pretty similar at first, and I still feel like they're relatively similar. Different enough that I don't consider them clones at all, but I'm just saying that there is a similarity. And then I mean, like, if we're gonna talk about the Samuses, Zero Suit Samus is nothing like Samus at all. Like, they're completely different characters. So,
Right.
um,
You think maybe there's a possibility they could be completely different characters in Smash Ultimate?
Dark Samus.
Yeah.
I think you have the potential to make it like that, but it's so much easier just to make it make it an Echo character, which is why people are like, oh, just make it an Echo character. But like, if we want, we could talk about it though. We could talk about the possibility of Dark Samus not being an Echo character. I think if it was a completely different character,
they'd probably go with like Silex or somebody else.
What if
Dark Samus?
True, but like, what if they took some like, you know, they took some creative like liberties, right? And maybe they don't even call it Dark Samus Dark Samus. What if they just call it Metroid Prime, right? And its base form is Dark Samus, but as it attacks, like it like partially turns into Metroid Prime at different points. Kind of like the Dragon Girl from Fire Emblem, right? Like, imagine that. That'd be really interesting to me.
Right. That would be really cool. But I feel like if they wanted to play off like the Metroid Prime 4, when they want to go with Silex because he's got something to do with that.
Yes, but Silex is also not that popular. He may become popular for Metroid Prime 4.
I guess Dark Samus would only be popular because it has Samus in the name. Otherwise, I feel like it would be just as popular.
I don't know. I think Dark Samus people... If Dark Samus had a different name, this wouldn't really be an argument. Like, because it's so really different. So different from Samus. But, I don't know. I want both. I want both. So we'll see.
Sorry, I crushed your hopes and dreams, but they're not getting both.
What if they are?
Come Wednesday and they're both.
No, not this Wednesday though. I think if we get both, I don't think there's no way we see both. We may see one. Although I could easily see them saving that for if there is a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD coming out this year, which is every day is becoming more and more unlikely, even though it's already kind of unlikely. Like, I think they would save like a Metroid announcement for that, and I don't think they're announcing any other games or DLC tomorrow. I think it's just all Smash. So
no, it's not going to be DLC.
Right. So I just don't see them even announcing any Metroid character tomorrow. I would like it. I'm just saying, like, if I'm just thinking about, like, I guess logically, right? Like, I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday.
Like, talk about DLC? Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry, I got confused about what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that I don't think I want a Metroid character. I might want 2 Metroid characters, but I don't think we're going to see any Metroid characters announced on Wednesday.
I think there's a high likelihood that one could be announced on Wednesday.
Well, put it this way. If we do see a Metroid character announced on Wednesday and we don't get a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD announcement, then at that point I'm going to be like, yep, there's no Metroid Prime Trilogy HD this year. So,
true, yeah.
Because I feel like they would tie that in together. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Right.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not going to get one then unless they do the whole other announcements thing.
Right. And I do definitely think there's going to be, I think there's a good chance of having.
And does that mean that they're not going to show off any Xenoblade stuff because they're going to want to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna in the Direct?
Do they need to talk about the Torna DLC?
Probably. They put a lot of marketing into that, actually. I keep seeing the ads on YouTube and Crunchyroll and Twitch and everywhere, actually.
Well, I guess that could potentially go into another Direct. Maybe there is another Direct where they'll show off a Dark Samus Echo character, maybe a Rex and Pyra, and that's when they'll have like that. Maybe we'll still get that. Maybe we won't get either of those on Wednesday.
So weird. Then why even show a... I don't know. It's weird because if they're going to show off, it's like Smash.
I don't know if they need I don't know if they need a whole Direct for Torna DLC though. Like, I feel like a trailer would be enough, right? So having a Xenoblade character announced today, and then a week or so from now we get a trailer, and then we get the Torna DLC, I think that would be fine in terms of marketing.
Right.
Unless there is a Direct plan.
I'm not saying there would be a whole Direct for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm saying in a general Direct.
When is the Torna DLC coming out? I think that kind of matters.
It's like September, it's September 14th or something. We talked about this last podcast.
We did, but I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know. Eh, I think you don't. I don't know. It's
Yeah, September 14th. I was right.
right. Okay, good.
I think that there is going to be another more general direct early September, to be honest.
There'll be another direct by September. I think it makes sense because it's still supposedly stuff that we haven't. Like, even though we don't know if there's going to be deals for Mario Odyssey or Mario Kart or Metro Prime Trilogy HD or anything like that, we still need to get dates for a lot of different games like Dark Souls and Ark and stuff like that. And on top of that, Torrent DLC probably deserves another trailer, right? So there's definitely is still a need for another direct.
Right.
We also haven't really gotten a direct for the 3DS content at all. So
No,
there's that.
I honestly don't think there's going to be hardly any more 3DS content past what they've already announced. At least not this year.
Well,
I don't think there's going to be much content this year.
Well, you still have to talk about Luigi's Mansion 3D, right?
I guess. Do they? It's just Luigi's Mansion remade on the 3DS. I guess they could mention it. It's for a marketing
Right,
purpose.
well, like, if it was in a direct, I think the 3DS portion would just take a couple minutes.
Oh yeah, it'd be like 5
If it's a general direct. For the record, guys, just for full clarity's sake, we're not talking about the direct on Wednesday right now. We're just talking about a theoretical direct that would talk about the other stuff later on.
Yeah. This direct is so weird to me, the Smash direct, because I didn't think they need one now. I really don't think they need one now. I don't know why they're doing one now. It doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest. It's kind of confusing, because I feel like they could have just easily waited till like October, November,
Yeah.
and then one day. It's like, why are they doing one now? I don't understand. If it was just E3 where you just had a whole huge Smash thing, you could have just talked about stuff there. Why? I don't understand.
I'm not sure, but I got a question from Steven Heim. Hey, man, so I'm gonna read his question. Do you think King K. Rool and Dixie Kong will be in Smash? And do you think the Fountain of Dreams will be a stage? So I think at least one of those characters is definitely in Smash, either King K. Rool or Dixie Kong, and I 100% believe Fountain of Dreams will be in Smash. 99% believe Fountain of Dreams will be in Smash Ultimate, and I think there's a chance we could get both King K. Rool and Dixie Kong in Smash Ultimate. I know there's a lot of hype surrounding King K. Rool, so I think it's a decent chance. So,
He was super high from what we can tell on the Smash ballot.
yeah. So that would be, I think there's a decent chance. I'm not gonna say for sure, right? But I think there's a decent chance for King K. Rool. I think at least one of those two characters, maybe both, right? But at least one of those characters, and definitely Fountain of Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty much bringing like almost every stage back. I think the only stages that
Are the
won't
stages
be brought
that
back
don't
for
make
Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Picto Chat. That's like an old DS
Right.
thing. Nobody these days really knows unless you already had it.
The stages that just are.
Miiverse. They're not gonna have like 5 Great Fox stages.
Why not?
Because
They're all different. They're all different.
There's only one that is good, and that is Sector Z. Every other one is garbage.
No, Corneria is the best one.
No, you're
wrong.
Well, how is
Jinx.
Corneria better than
Jinx,
Sector
you're
Z?
wrong.
It's not.
I win. Corneria.
It's so small, though.
You're small.
It's like baby Sector Z. It's lame.
Corneria is the best.
No, how?
Okay. Let's just agree to disagree.
It's impossible.
Yeah. So like, where were you though?
No.
Definitely. I think most of the stages are gonna come in. There's just gonna be some of those stages that are just like awkward and make no sense, right? Like I guess like the Miiverse stage, like that. Miiverse doesn't exist anymore, so there's not gonna be a Miiverse stage, right? Like a couple stages like that won't make it, but pretty much every stage will make it into the game. That's what I think. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
I think there's gonna be some that don't get like duplicates. So I don't think we'll get Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Most likely we'll just get one of the other. Stuff like that. I think there's gonna be a lot of stages are very like similar, or they're just like slightly different from each other. I think we'll get like one of them instead of all of them.
Say that again?
Why spend development time making every Great Fox stage return and stuff like that?
You're still talking about the Great Foxes?
I'm talking about a bunch of different stages, but like stages like that have a bunch of different forms, but they're generally like the same thing, just slightly different. I think there's kind of like one or two forms, like, and not go with like every single version that's ever
But
existed.
how cool would it be to see Corneria remade? Because Corneria, you see it fly through, you know, a lot of Star Fox levels. Like, it would be really cool to kind of see all of that completely redone, right? Like, look at the redone stage we've seen already from Melee. They look amazing, right? Like, the Mushroom Kingdom and Jungle Japes, they both look like...
Right. All of the
they blow my
GameCube
mind.
stages
Yeah.
have been like pretty much fully remade, so
Mm-hmm.
I like that part of Corneria. They just need to make the shit big again.
So how many
Like, it's
how
so
many new
small.
stages do you think we'll see in this this direct? Like, and I guess I should distinguish that question, right? Because, like, for example, there have been several stages that we've seen hinted at or sort of alluded to between different, like, press and directs we've seen for the Smash already, but they haven't been, like, officially announced, right? So we may see some of that during the Smash Direct, but I also kind of mean just, like, actual announced stages, like, so
Right.
I guess it's two questions.
I think we're gonna probably see like 10 to 20.
Announced
it's gonna be a
stages
bunch.
or hinted at stages?
Both combined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
So
feel like they
most
want
of
to
those-
announce,
it's gonna be
like,
they're probably not gonna announce that many new stages. Probably like maybe 5.
I was going to say 3.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Like very small. Small amount. I think most of them will be returning stages confirmed, and I think
we'll see New
that
Donk City.
I think they're gonna be like show off all these stages, and then they're like, oh, by the way, guys, the stage segment in this Smash blog is now available to go check it out, and we'll be updating that every with the blog and stuff, because the stage section in the Smash blog is still unavailable. It says coming soon. Like, you can't go to it. I don't know why. There's a whole section of the blog that says it's going to be there. Like, it says stages, and you can't click on it because it says coming soon. So I think they're going to unlock that after this direct.
I want another Metroid stage. Like a new Metroid stage. And actually, right now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but in the background music, I have Fendrena Drifts. How cool would it be to have a Fendrena Drifts, like, Metroid stage, right?
Yes.
Because in Fendrena Drifts, you even have, like, the stalactites, right? And you have some of the floating platforms. So, and then you have some of the weird alien birds that fly around and zoom, like, with those sound waves that are pulsing out of it. Like, there is some really cool stuff you could do with that. And on top of that, is there even a dedicated Metroid Prime stage in Smash? I'm trying to think. Am I...
No?
No! There's not!
There's not! What
There
the
is
hell?
not! Metroid Prime is,
What
like...
this?
one of the highest rated games of all time. In terms of critical acclaim, it's the highest up for Metroid games, right? In terms of critical acclaim. Whichever one's your favorite, I'm not going to tell you which one I like more. I'm just simply saying Metroid Prime deserves love. So, there's not a specific stage for Metroid Prime.
Yeah, there's not. It's just all 2D Metroids.
I think there should be a Metroid Prime stage.
Especially with Metroid Prime 4 coming out.
Exactly.
Probably next year.
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
I would love to see a Fendrena Drift stage. It would be so different.
My prediction. Oh, but would they show it off tomorrow? I'm thinking. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say it, but I don't know if this will be announced tomorrow. So at some point, maybe, or not tomorrow, but Wednesday, sometime, maybe Wednesday.
There will be a naked mode where all the characters will have no clothes.
What? No.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna announce, probably, I guess, Dark Samus and a Metroid Prime stage. Perhaps at a general direct, and they'll show off a trailer or a little teaser trailer for Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would show it.
No.
I don't know if they would show it off on Wednesday.
Right.
But I think they're gonna show off.
I like the
Metroid
idea
Prime.
of it. I just don't think it'll be tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Not like a hint. No Metroid hints on Wednesday, right? Because it's Smash focused. I like the idea of it. And now that we've talked about it, I'm like really set on the idea of there being a Metroid Prime stage, right? And as much as, but when I think about it though, what makes the most sense for Metroid Prime?
List of predictions. Metroid Prime stage.
Oh, so
me.
what would be the best fit though? Because like as much as I would love to see a Fendrena Drift stage, I feel like if you want to represent Metroid Prime, there's other options, right? You have Talon 4, you have Space Frigate, you have the, Chozo place. Why is my
Chozo Ruins?
Chozo Ruins, thank you. Like, so the Talon Overworld, Chozo Ruins, There's so many options, and like if they choose Chozo Ruins, they could even have it where some of the Chozo ghosts come out at some points, right? Like that would be really cool. Another option is to do it in an area where Flagger can come out. That would be really freaking cool. They should just have a Metroid Prime stage for every section in Metroid Prime. They should have one for Talon 4. They should have one for Chozo Ruins. They should have one for Phantom
It's
Drift.
just like there's so many games.
They can skip Magmore Caverns.
Magmore Caverns not that great.
Yeah, they can skip
It's
that
like
one.
so many different games that they're like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Metroid Prime. We need more traveling stages, Sakurai. What are you doing? What are you doing? Traveling stages, man.
Which is why we're gonna get that Xenoblade 2 stage on Rex's grandpa's back.
Yeah, Rex and like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's like the thing is like ever since I saw how basic Breath of the Wild stage is, I'm like very like unoptimistic that we'll get any traveling stages.
Yeah, I just saw. I love what Phantasm Wolves is suggesting. A Fortuna from Star Fox Zero looks amazing. So it's like the best looking stage from Star Fox Zero for sure. And an Ultra Space stage from Generation 7 would also be super trippy. Definitely a lot of options with that as well for Pokemon. I like those ideas. Okay. But let's try to come to a conclusion on stages for tomorrow. So I definitely think we're going to see New Donk City tomorrow. Like, I think we're going to actually, like, not, we keep saying tomorrow, but it's actually Wednesday. Why are they doing this? Because normally they don't announce a direct that far in advance, but I know it was done because of all the fighting tournaments this weekend.
Evo.
Yeah. So definitely New Donk City. I don't think we're gonna get a Metro Prime stage announced tomorrow. I'm feeling a Xenoblade stage though. I'm feeling a Xenoblade stage though.
I just feel like there's an argument for every stage, like Xenoblade, Mario Odyssey, and Metroid all have arguments for them not announcing it in this direct.
Right. But we at least know that New Donk City is in the game already, right?
Yeah, we do know about that already. So that one seems like the most likely to get announced just because we've already seen it.
Right.
The other ones I could see being tied into,
Could there be another Breath of the Wild stage?
Like that. I think there is, but I don't know if they'll show it off.
No, it could be one of those. It could be one of those secret stages, right? Yeah. That we don't get until the game comes out, and I think it would totally have to do with the dragons. Just saying.
I think it would definitely have. It needs to be a roaming stage. It needs to be a travel stage.
Does it though? Because I feel like I think they did a good job.
Yes, we need a Breath of the Wild travel stage where we travel to all the different environments.
But Breath of the Wild's open world is like super huge and detailed. Right? Like, I feel like they did a pretty good job with the Breath of the Wild stage we have already, because you can get a pretty good look of most of the stage. I don't know.
And you can pretty much only see the grass area. Mostly. It's not really much else.
You can see Death Mountain, you can see Hyrule Castle, you can see the Hebra region all the way in the back. I mean, you can see it, it's just kind of like,
I don't think you can see Gerudo Valley, though.
No, because it's behind. Yeah, it's behind the Great Plateau.
You can't see a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can't see Pharaon.
I need to go look at it, actually. Breath of the Wild. Let's confirm exactly what you can see.
It's basically like the look you see when you start the game. You see a pretty big chunk of Hyrule.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture. Yeah, you can see Death Mountain. You can see some stuff. It's not great. I don't see the Ice Mountains. You don't see Gerudo Desert. You don't see Kakariko Village or any of the other places.
Well, you can't really see. They can't really see that village because it's like inside mountains.
Yeah.
You don't see the village until you're inside the village.
I feel like there's still a bunch of other places in Breath of the Wild that they could show that aren't here.
Well, like, I agree. I'm just simply making
the. What if they went to the big cities? Like, what if they went to the different, like, the Rudo Village and Kakariko Village and different places?
What they could do if you want it to be a roaming stage, right? What if you're riding on the dragons, right? Fighting on the dragons, and all three of them are intermingling, dancing with each other in the air, and they fly down around the different, like, locales, like Zora's Domain, like Kakariko Village. I say Kakariko, you say Kakariko. You might be right, I'm not sure. Through the Rito area as well, by Hyrule Castle. But what they do is that they go... Shut up. They go up and down above the clouds, right? So, like, that way...
That's what I'm thinking, because in my video before, E3, when I was posting traveling Zelda stage, I was like, they would probably have to have some kind of transition scene, because you can't load all that
Right.
quickly. 60 frames, 1080p, it's not gonna happen. So I'm thinking, like you said, like go above the clouds, and then all you see is clouds, and then it goes back down.
And you're by another section that's really cool.
Yeah, you already buy another section. So I think that's how they would have to do it, just for graphical dimensions.
This is me, like, going the extra mile here, but whenever you watch the dragons leave after you hit them, they fly through some sort of dimensional rift above, at the very top of the sky, right? So what if this idea we have is true, right, where they fly low by different towns in Hyrule, when they fly up, they go through that dimensional portal, and you go in with them, and when you're in there, you're, like, flying through the Sacred Realm. Yeah, right?
That's too much. It's too
too cool. It's too cool
we
to
haven't
have.
even seen the Sacred Realm in, like, Breath of the Wild. So
Well, okay, when I say Sacred Realm, like, they could get trippy, and they could show, like, stuff from, like, Ocarina of Time in HD, like, when the goddesses are flying through the sky, or like you're in the Temple of Time Chamber. Or the white space that Ganondorf is trapped into. That's another, like, there's different things they could sort of use to create an idea of the Sacred Realm.
That would be amazing.
God,
it's not happening.
No, that's not.
Well,
what if it is though? What if it is? It'll be the best roaming stage ever.
It would. Breath of the Wild has such potential for a great stage, and every time I look at the Breath of the Wild stage in Smash, I'm like, this is lame. It's okay. It's not great. I think if they did go through the portals, I think it would just be like a cool, like, effect, like a zooming color effect. And then it would load.
Yeah, that'd be simple. Yeah. Oh, so Sabbath 64. Yeah, Hyrule Temple is returning. That's confirmed already. I'm pretty sure. You're talking about the one from Melee, right? That's in the game.
Oh yeah, that's in the game. We've never seen it.
Mario Party stage would be nice for traveling. The platform fight. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Mario Party stage would be kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. That could work.
Yeah. And by the way, Stoneman, I totally agree with you. Zora's Domain, definitely want that to happen.
Zora's Domain. Is that a stage in
also, Daddle Labble. I think we're on the same page in terms of stages. Like, pretty much every stage will be in there. No repeats, like, when... So, like, for example, the remake of a stage from N64, like, you're not going to get the N64 stage and the remake of it. You're going to get one of those. Right. So, for example, like, the Mushroom Kingdom stage that was remade from Melee, we're not going to get the original Melee stage. We're getting the nicer-looking version of it. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
There is a Mario Kart 8 stage in Smash for Wii U and 3DS. Yeah, I don't really like it, because it's kind of the same. It's not the same, but it's similar to the Mario Kart stage from the Brawl.
Really, I feel like it feels completely different than that one.
Well, it's just the concept that you're on a racetrack, and the track looks similar.
I mean, it's Mario Kart, so
I guess I don't know.
I feel like
it is very different, but it's just like it doesn't excite me that much.
It's not. I'm not saying it's a good stage, but it's not. It's definitely not. I don't think it's even close to the other stage, other than the fact that it's both Mario Kart, to be honest.
And I mean, they could use like the thing is about the Mario Kart stages is that they use the default map, like the first map in the mushroom cup, right? Like, and that's the other thing, right? Like when we talk about like potential stages for representing different games, like Metroid Prime, like there's different like areas that would be really cool. But for a lot of games, they'll probably just pick the one that's like, oh, yeah, this is like the default stage, the main area for the game, you know? So
like Breath of the Wild stage.
Yo, what if tomorrow they decide to blow our minds and they announce Banjo and Kazooie?
I'd be down.
And actually, with that, a Banjo and Kazooie stage.
I don't think that's too far-fetched, to be honest. I think they need something super hype for this one. I think there's going to be something that's going to blow our minds, and Banjo and Kazooie could.
Yeah, but to lower expectations a little bit, what if they do announce a third-party character? It's not Banjo-Kazooie, but it's actually Simon Belmont, which has been, theorized and speculated and leaked and rumored to Kingdom Come. And a
I think he is going to get announced, actually.
And a Castlevania stage would be beautiful, like gothic, like castles and beautiful moonlight. Mm-hmm. Like imagine like a grittier, more like gothic version of Luigi's Mansion. And more realistic looking. So actually, I think there was a mod. Yeah, completely different. Completely different. I think there was a mod for Brawl, Project M. I forget the name. That had
Yeah,
like
it's called Project M.
had a Castlevania stage. I think. I think they had a red moon and everything, and it reused the assets for the Luigi's Mansion stage, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
You have to go back and look for that, but it looked pretty good. So yeah,
Excite Bike as a character in the Excite Bike stage. Oh gosh.
I'm okay with an Excite Bike stage. I think it should stay as an assist trophy. Yeah.
Nah, fam. Excite Bike, the best stage. What's that one that Andre Seekers wants? That ridiculously stupid one. Oh gosh, he wants Excite Car, I think. You want is it a different?
He wants some sort of vehicle to fight.
Yeah. He wants Excite Truck. That's what it is. He wants Excite Truck.
Is it Excite Truck? I mean, Excite Truck's pretty cool. The way they boost but yeah.
Yeah, but as a Smash character.
No.
What if though?
Actually, so I want to talk about this. I brought it up on Twitter, and I know some people disagree with me. So you guys in the chat, let me know what you guys think about this. But I'm not feeling Isabelle from Animal Crossing. A lot of people keep on talking about Isabelle from Animal Crossing.
Why?
And
why would she be a fighter? It makes no sense.
To me, I mean, we agree here, but like to me, I just don't see how Isabelle makes sense as a character, someone who should take up a spot for Smash Ultimate. Like, she's not a fighter, and we already have a villager to represent Animal Crossing as a fighter. I just don't. She's not a fighter. She's a cute, She's
literally like the opposite of what Okay.
It's not that you can't have cute characters in Smash Bros. They're sort of
right.
It's like kind of like ironic, right? But we've already kind of done that a few times already. I don't see the point of doing it again.
If you're gonna get somebody in from Animal Crossing, which even as a big Animal Crossing Nearly fan, I don't think it needs it. But if you were, get like Rossetti or Tom Nook or somebody like that, KK Slider, somebody better than Isabelle. It makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of you guys, I'm seeing some of you guys in the chat already, you pretty much agree with us. I mean, if she's anything, an assist trophy, I think will be okay, right? Like, there are certain things you could offer as an assist trophy, but not as no. I don't even see her as an Echo Fighter, to be honest with you.
Her assist trophy's kind of lame, to be honest.
Right. But, I mean, if they make her an Echo Fighter or something, I'm not going to complain. I'm just simply saying I personally don't get the excitement for it.
There's so many other characters. Kapp'n would be a better character. Like, there's just so many better Animal Crossing characters.
What if Rossetti
for Smash
is made a fighter?
Rossetti, yes. That's what he just beat you over the head, like, stop turning off your game.
Right, because the thing is, he's really annoying, but also incredibly entertaining as an assist trophy.
And
right?
he's angry all the time.
So what if, like, every time you go into it, you play as Rossetti as a character, hypothetically speaking, because I don't think Rossetti is going to be a character, but if he was, like, every time you start a match, he has a different complaint, right? And as you play, the complaints come up, and he's just whacking people with his pickaxe and just going mad.
Yeah, somebody could actually come up with a moveset for him. Isabelle, what would her moveset?
Well, I mean,
like, Rossetti has a pickaxe, and he constantly threatens to kill you. Actually, doesn't, but it's kind of.
Rossetti's more aggressive, at least.
He wants.
He's mad.
That he wants to beat the crap out of you.
He's mad, and seeing him express his anger every time you like that, is really cool. But at the same time, by doing that, I feel like you would lose having him as that assist trophy that has constantly different like banter and conversations with you whenever he does come up. So there is kind of like the give and take there, which is why I don't think he's going to become a character, right? Because even for Rossetti, there's not, even though he has that hostility and kind of like a reason to fight. I don't see him as a fighter either. So, but again, like if Isabelle is a fighter, I'm not. Who am I to say? Oh, you guys are Isabelle fans. You're all wrong. You don't deserve her. No, like you can have her. I just don't understand it. So if you guys, any of you who watch this later on or now, let me know because I don't get it.
Yeah,
but
I like Animal Crossing. I like Isabelle, but not in Smash.
Yeah. So some of these guys are talking about Halo.
Yeah, Master Chief.
No. I think we all know Master Chief is not going to be in the game, or probably not.
What if he was? It'd actually be cool.
It would be neat. So
I love Halo. It's like it's my favorite shooter.
I guess my problem with having Master Chief in it is, well, one, he represents Xbox Like he is
True.
he is Xbox, right? He's
like the face of Xbox.
he's the closest thing to Mario for Xbox, right? And it's just like it's like basically like having Mario in PlayStation All Stars.
In before Forza Car announced for Smash.
Yeah. So, but I mean, hypothetically speaking, like if it was okay, because Microsoft and Nintendo do get along really well, maybe in the future there could be some more collaborations. Like, hypothetically speaking, like, you know, let's say 5-10 years from now, Microsoft bows out of the console industry. They just focus on their Microsoft brand, and you know, like, what if they have Xbox Live and they use that sort of more as like a streaming platform service, and then they work with Nintendo and they incorporate Xbox Live, but as a trade off, Nintendo can get Banjo-Kazooie and Halo on their systems. Like that would be really cool.
I'm sure Microsoft would love Master Chief to be in the next Smash, because you know how that would help the sales of Halo Infinite a lot. But would Nintendo want Microsoft to, you know, they would not want it. Nintendo, I think, would be the issue, not Microsoft. Microsoft would love to have Master Chief in Smash.
I think if Nintendo and Microsoft are communicating about a character being in Smash Bros, it's gonna be Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
But it would be cool though, like you guys talk about, like the idea of having Snake and Master Chief fight each other. Interesting, definitely interesting.
Master Chief would win. Just
yeah, but I mean, since the Switch has been hacked, maybe they'll create a mod for Smash Ultimate, and we can see that anyways. So, right. So did we come to a conclusion on what stages we think we might see? Not that we have to come to a conclusion, but I like coming to a conclusion.
There is a conclusion that you could make, just because there's so many stages and stage ideas. It's like they could announce anything. There could be a Golden Sun stage. There could be a brand. It could be anything. Like, think of anything, any IP. Think of how many IPs there are, not only for Nintendo but third parties as well. Like, it's impossible to come to any sort of conclusion about what stages they could show. I think we can think maybe a number that could be conclusive. I think 15 to 20.
I think the only one that we know for sure we're gonna see them. Well, we don't know for sure. Is New Donk City. What other? Do you think we get a second Mario Odyssey stage though?
If it's only New Donk City, then yes. If it's a travel stage, then no. Probably not.
I don't think it's gonna be a travel stage. I think they're gonna incorporate like the taxis bouncing off them, and maybe the scooter could become an item in the game, and there might even be the parrot flying around. Like, I think there's so much they can do for New Donk City. Like, it's gonna be like, New Donk City could be kind of fashioned off of Own It. You know, from the Earthbound stage. Like, it's like it has a road in the bottom and has buildings. Right. So like, there'll be some skyscrapers that have like the green railings that you can climb. There'll be a taxi passing through that allows you to bounce off. Like, I think, you know, and maybe it could even be a shifting thing where it's like a real time where it goes from night to day. And at nighttime, guess what? Center stage. Guess what we see? We see Pauline having her concert. Like, how cool would that be, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that'd be really interesting to see. I feel like it has to happen now. I feel like it has to. Oh man, there's so much potential there. So much potential.
It's just too good.
It's incredible.
It's gonna be awesome, I think, no matter what. I don't see any way that it could not be amazing.
Well, here's where I'm gonna be a little negative. If you look at the Breath of the Wild stage and how creative they were with that, it wasn't that creative.
Yeah, but Breath of the Wild, like, it makes sense. Like, I don't see a.
Hey man, they could have made it really interesting for Breath of the Wild. They could have had it.
Yeah.
What if you were on a river on a raft, right, and then you pass by different parts, and there's a Hinox, and you'll throws like a bokoblin at you as you're passing by, right? And there could be other parts where the dragons pass by and they throw lightning bolts at you, and then you could get to a point where you go by the river right behind the Hyrule Castle, and then Calamity Ganon comes out. Like, there are options.
There are, but there's also, like, it makes sense why they went with the tower and everything. Like, for New Donk, I can't think of a logical reason why they would not have cars passing through or stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about, like, the idea that it shifts from day to night, and then at nighttime the concert happens, and then the barrels come out, right? Like,
yeah, that idea I could see not happening, but I think it's gonna be cool. Like, there's gonna be.
I think the taxi part is believable.
There's no way there's not gonna be taxis moving through the stage. I think, like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I think that much we could agree on. So, but what about another Mario Odyssey stage? What would be the best other stage to have? Because let's say we can only get 2 from Mario Odyssey, right? New Donk City makes the most sense, but what would be a good second one?
Fossil Falls.
I wanted to say Fossil Falls as well.
Fossil Falls would definitely be. That's their other
highlight. Or it would be a roaming stage on the Odyssey.
Yeah, that one would happen.
We always talk about roaming stages for every single game.
Last time a roaming stage was actually made, because we keep bringing up roaming stages,
right?
And
there's not going to be that many roaming stages
revealed since like Brawl. So
yeah,
when was the last roaming stage? Like
let's assume there isn't a roaming stage, but if there was, it could totally be on the Odyssey.
Fossil Falls would definitely be the other ones. That's the one they show off the most.
And they could do it on top of the Triceratops skeleton where the waterfall is. So
they got the dinosaur in the background.
And he could sometimes be an element. Yeah, like I think that would make the most sense. And on top of it, there's even floating mountain platforms as well there. So like it just fits perfectly. I agree. Right, fighting on top of the Triceratops skeleton with the waterfall. And
I mean, it's their other than New Donk, it's their flagship Mario Odyssey stage. It's the one they always showed in the trailers. It was the one they revealed the game with, didn't they?
True. And it's the first world you explore, excluding.
It just makes way too much sense.
Well, I think you take
the Cat Kingdom, but you can't really explore it.
Right.
Much.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do here.
Yeah.
You can collect coins.
It's a tutorial stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you come back. Yeah, okay. So I guess we agree. That's a good second stage. I don't think we'll see it tomorrow though. I think we're gonna see New Donk City.
No.
Yeah.
I think it would be a secret one that you can unlock. I think for a lot of the new stuff, like it's gonna be like one per series, hopefully, and then you can unlock the other ones, and they're secret. You don't know about them.
So I've heard the Game Explain guys have talked about this a couple times, but this is something that I personally have really wanted for a long time. I want the return of Pokefloats.
You and the rest of the universe.
No, apparently some people don't like Pokefloats. I love Pokefloats. I thought it was amazing.
Is that a stage you had to unlock in Melee?
You don't get it at first. I'm pretty sure.
I never owned Melee because my parents were like, "You have Smash 64, you don't need Melee." And so I only played it at my friend's house, and I guess he hadn't unlocked it, or we never played on it for whatever reason. I never played on that stage. I looked it up. I didn't know what it was till today when I looked it up, because people on my Discord were like, "We need Pokefloats," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
And imagine if they remade it, man. All the Pokemon like in HD.
It would look amazing.
Or I'd even be happier if they remix the stage, right? Because I do remember like. I've heard that stage was just rushed a little bit, and some the collision, and it's a little awkward. Some places like they could redo it, maybe throw in some newer Pokemon, obviously all in HD, redone. Like they could take that stage to another level.
Oh yeah,
it's so cool. Like some Pokemon actually even make more sense in Pokefloats now, like Driftbloom, which is a balloon Pokemon, literally a balloon. So. Yeah.
Wasn't that the one? Wasn't that Was that Sun and Moon? Is that the exclusive to that one?
Driftbloom? Yeah. Driftbloom, I'm pretty sure is a Generation 4 Pokemon.
Oh, okay. I think there's another balloon. They added a lot of weird, wacky ones in Sun and Moon, like balloons and ice cream and sandcastles and stuff. So.
I think you're just gonna. There's lots of weird Pokemon from different games. There's Slurpuff.
But ice cream Pokemon.
The ice cream Pokemon's from Generation 5. But there's a cotton candy Pokemon that was introduced in Generation 6.
It's one of the weird ones.
I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of options, for sure. So a complete, remastered, redone Pokefloat stage would be epic. So, is that going to happen, though? I think at the very least we can expect Pokefloats to return, but sort of reworked so it plays a little better.
Right. Jungle Japes. That's what people keep talking about. Jungle Japes. That's the one with the river, right?
There's also Congo Falls, and I think the name changed, so that's why it's confusing.
Jungle Japes is the one with the house in the middle of the two platforms and the rushing river. That's that one. So, I think that's pretty obvious for return.
Yeah.
It's been like
we're talking about the N64 one, right?
Every one.
Or we're talking about the N64 one?
Was it in that? No, not the N64 one. No, the one it has it doesn't have a river in the N64. It has barrels underneath. That's a different one. It's pretty much the same stage. Well,
Very similar.
Actually, it's very similar, but it has a rushing. It's pretty much.
I remember the game the GameCube one now. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's in Melee. That one's in every single one except the original. It's been in every single one since it first came to Melee.
Yeah.
It's been in Melee, Brawl, and
it's
Wii.
the one that has like a violent river that runs right under it, and there's like some baby crocodiles that jump up and.
Is it baby crocodiles in one of the versions? I think that might be 3DS exclusive. It didn't have that in Melee.
I don't remember, but I'm not sure. I have to go back. I haven't played Melee in such a long time.
I played it emulated, and it didn't have crocodiles.
Maybe you just sucked. They didn't bite you.
I sucked because there's no crocodiles.
Yes.
You only get to see crocodiles if you
when you're good. Because they want to eat you because you're good.
When you get good, then the crocodiles come out. They're like, oh, good Smash player. Oh.
Yeah, so, let's talk about the online and single player before we call things a night. So, guys, you know, for those watching, if you want to put any questions now, I want to try to cut this off at the 2-hour mark. We're at a minute. We're at the hour 43 mark, so we got 16 and a half minutes. Okay, so we still haven't really talked too much about the online and single player yet, and
Right.
that's the thing. We could talk about Smash forever, but if you guys have any sort of like things you want us to talk about, bring them up in the chat now. Okay, so about the online, what do you think they like? How let's assume they are going to talk about the online on Wednesday. Well, first, do you think they are going to talk about the online on Wednesday?
I think there is. Honestly, it's 50-50 because I could see them waiting to talk about it. I guess I could see them waiting to talk about it until they want to announce a test punch, which they could wait until like the very last second.
Okay.
So they could have it on a second one.
Okay.
But I'm pretty 50-50 on it.
Right, but let's, for sake of argument though, because you could totally be right. Let's say they do talk about it on Wednesday, right? What would they talk about? I think one thing would be announcing a Smash test, right? But like, would you think they'll announce anything interesting about the online mode? Like, do you think they'll do anything different? Will it just be, hey, just battle people online? Or do you think they'll try to mix it up?
I think they'll definitely. I think they're gonna add a lot of customization options because that's what people complain about in Smash 4's online. Other than the terrible lag and stuff, they complain there's not a lot of options. So they're definitely gonna want to go and talk about options. They might talk about a new revamped tournament mode. They might talk about different modes, like maybe if Smash Run is brought back, they'll talk about that. I think when they talk about online, they're gonna go all out, which is why I kind of think they're not gonna talk about it now.
I have a weird prediction. I think, and here's the thing, I predicted the opposite beforehand, but I don't know. It's just an idea, probably wrong, but I think actually, so we got Smash Run for the 3DS version, right? We got, what was the name of the Wii U one?
Smash Tour.
Smash Crap, Smash Trash, Smash Crash Trash, Smash Crash Trash Dumb. Right, Smash Tour. I think that mode, as horrendous as it was, I think it's gonna be in Smash Ultimate. But
yes,
I
think I know what you mean.
It's gonna be completely redone. It's no longer be turn-based. You know, it's gonna be kind of more about you can actually maybe move around in real time around the map, this game board, right? And you set up situations where you don't just fight. You don't just fight each other, but they also play the mini games. So which brings me to another point. I think target break is gonna be back. Yeah, you know, running across. What's the name of the one where you race to the finish? Race to the finish is gonna be back. Board the platform is gonna be back. So you're gonna bring back all these home run contests and add a few new other game modes on top of fighting, all thrown into a new revamped Smash Tour that's not slow paced and boring, right? But it all incorporates all this stuff, and it doesn't really incorporate all like the little stats and stuff. I think that'll all be dedicated for Smash Run, and we'll have both, and both of them will be revamped and actually really awesome and not suck. And they will be online enabled, so you'll be able to play with people online as well.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but would it really be good?
Take away. Here's the thing. The thing about Smash Tour that's really, really annoying to me is the fact that it's like turn-based, right? Like it's like Mario Party without the mini games. That's what it's Mario Party without the mini games, and it's super slow-paced. I think cutting out the turns and maybe just kind of making it like something that just jumps straight to fights and mini games the entire time, right? With just some like movement, I think would be maybe even just scrap movement altogether, right?
Why?
It's just like a collection of like different things you do
Yeah,
together.
that's what I'm
in a
saying.
mode.
Like, why we don't need this Smash tour to bring all those different things together.
Well, okay, then you're transforming my prediction as we go. It's just an idea I'm playing around with my head.
Right.
So like, what if they just take the idea of like a party mode. That's what Smash Tour is. It's a party mode, but it's a really shitty party mode. Take the idea of a party mode and then bring back all these different mini games from Smash history, and like it's just like you jump into doing different mini games competing against each other, right? Kind of like like the party, like like the mini game only mode in Mario Party, that but in Smash Brothers.
Right. That would
really
be
cool.
better.
Yeah. And with that, I think they could bring back some new mini games, bring back old ones, revamp them. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So I like the idea of the mini games. I just don't. As I said,
I agree with you. Actually, I agree with you. It's kind of like an idea. It's just kind of like bringing up. But like, yeah, I think that whole aspect is lame, but the action parts are good. And yeah,
I think that could work. I think they may show off some. I'm kind of leaning. I'm 30-70 that they will not talk about the online. They'll save that for later. I think they could. There's this small argument that maybe they want to talk about the online service because it's coming out kind of sort of soon, but I don't think they need to talk about that during Smash. Like, you could make the argument for that, but I don't think it's that valid. So I think they would focus more honestly on the more local modes, like having tag team and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I think they would focus on the online modes later.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, like, if they could do that, because there's so much they could talk about the online that could be its own direct, right? Like how Smash's online is going to work. There's a strong possibility of that. But just to talk about the online though, like I think, regardless if we get that information on Wednesday or not, I think I think the tournament mode that we had in Smash Wii U is going to be scrapped. I think it's been closer to what we got for Brawl and Melee, which is actually a good tournament mode. Allow that for offline play, which wasn't available on Wii U and 3DS, which was dumb, and make it also online enabled at the same time. Something I kind of want them to do is, so like, yeah, they allow modes, right? Different modes for you to go into, but there isn't like that much progression with online play into different Smash games. What if they added progression? What I mean is like achievements, like stacking things together. You know what I mean? Like give players incentives to continually play more and more online.
Like to get a rank and stuff. They could just add a rank.
But I want more. A ranking would. I want a little bit more than just a rank. A rank would be a part of it. Like maybe that's the way you can get more stickers and trophies. Right? As you progress, you get playing online gets you more stickers and trophies. That's one consideration. And maybe they could offer up more skin unlocks, more costume unlocks that way, right? Like, what if every character has a standard 8, but each character can get an additional 2 more, right? Like, that would be pretty cool. I just want more incentive to build up kind of like an online, I guess, campaign.
I don't want that, to be honest, because I feel like you wouldn't really be able to unlock those if you played online with friends. You'd only really be able to do that for online with randoms, which is something that doesn't interest me at all.
Why would it have to be separate?
Because unless it's based on amount of times you played, it'd be way easier you could just have somebody purposely lose.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you could use your friends to like. I see what you mean.
So you would have to tie it to just by yourself.
Interesting
online.
Point.
Well, which a lot of people would not. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who play that, but like me, I wouldn't want to do that.
Okay, so I'm looking at Smash Bros. As a party game. So like, what if they didn't just have the fighting, just the Smash parts available online, but all the mini games as well. Like everything is available online. Everything has its own online portion to it. And just playing online as a whole, you are building different things up. But still, what you're saying maybe wouldn't be based... I see what you're saying, though. It makes sense. Like, winning... Like, because you could have your friends just give up, and... I feel like there's a workaround for that. I haven't thought about this entirely through though. So I'll just give you. I'll put a pin on this idea for now.
Right.
Yeah. So then, but I feel like pretty much every mode should be available online. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, actually, has it been confirmed if 8-player mode is online or not?
No, it wasn't online the Wii U one. I could see it being online in Smash Ultimate because they're gonna have the online servers, probably dedicated servers and stuff. So
we'll see.
I think it's achievable now. It should be.
It's
Hey,
achievable.
we're paying for it. The online suppose is better.
Yeah, definitely possible. So, I can see that. Oh God.
Don't die.
I'm dying. I'm done. I am done. All right, so, but let's jump into modes unless there's anything you want to add for what we can see for the online.
No, because I think they're gonna. I'm fairly certain they're gonna save it for later.
Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat before we move on to this last topic. Sad64, I definitely think they bring back classic mode. When I say classic mode, I don't mean that abomination that we saw for Wii U and 3DS. I mean actual classic mode.
That's lies and deceit.
Well, there's nothing about it that was classic at all. Like
Nothing.
I don't just.
It's dumb.
No, yeah, I don't. I think classic mode's coming back along with some sort of adventure mode. I'm not. Well, I guess we'll talk about that in a moment. Do I think? Hey, Z862. I don't know if they'll add more mini sets. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I feel like the 3 is where it's at, because like each of them counts as a numbered slot for a character. In the roster.
That's what I thought he meant, like costumes.
Oh, costumes, yeah. Right, but
no, yeah, they're not gonna add
like
any...
different like styles. I don't think so.
They would have already announced them because there's no reason to.
Well, they could pull. I think they could. Like, I'm not gonna say 100% no, but I don't think it is likely.
I'm 99% sure that they will not add anything more with the Mii's.
Yeah.
The costumes. Why would they?
Who
wants that? Who's asking for that? Nobody.
Yeah. Also, hello, Love Queen and Nippon. Really cool to see someone who's Japanese watching the stream. It's awesome. Brandon Unicorn is asking, will they bring back Board the Platforms? I hope they bring back Board the Platforms.
Which one is Board the Platforms?
It's where you board the platforms. Board the Platforms is in Smash 64. Remember the yellow platforms that have the lights that are blue and red? Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. I see.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember. I didn't remember this one until just now.
Yeah.
I haven't played Smash 64 in so freaking
right, but
long. I remember break the things.
So this is the thing about like asking about like classic mode will come back, how many characters will be there, how many stages will be there, will we get Board the Platforms, right? It's called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, right? And if you look, they're already incorporating as many characters as they can, as many stages as they can. I think the big focus for Smash Ultimate is to try to bring back everything that's been good and loved about Smash Bros. Over the years, all into one package. And that includes Board the Platforms.
It has to.
What?
It has to have an adventure mode then.
Yeah, I think so, right? Which
kind of Ultimate Smash if there is not an adventure.
Which brings us into our final point, but just to make sure I was heard, I do think Board the Platforms will come back, because if you think about like the all-encompassing Smash Ultimate, bringing everything that's good about Smash Brothers. So yeah, but I think that, like you said, I think that also includes adventure mode. So how would they do that? Would it be like an adventure mode like Melee? Would it be an adventure mode like Subspace Emissary? Would it be something in between, or would it be both? I think it would be just one of those two.
I think it will be a mixture of it. I think it will be more like Subspace Emissary though than the other one.
Link just subscribe. Thank you, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it will be more ambitious than the Melee one, but a lot less so than Brawls. So less than Subspace Emissary. I think it will make more sense than Subspace Emissary. But I do think it will have like animated cutscenes and stuff, and it will have like a sort of pseudo story of why you're doing things. So, I think it will be in between.
Yeah, it's hard to say how they'll do it. Long. Yeah, I think I like the idea that each of your experiences kind of differs depending on which character you're playing through it as.
Right.
You know, but having different cutscenes that you could unlock and see depending on how you do it. Now, Sakurai did tell us during the E3 Direct that he will, in the future, at a later date, tell us how we can go about unlocking different characters, right? Because he said when we play the game, we're going to start off with a really small roster. I think the original 8, actually, he said it will be starting off the game with. And it will build it throughout that. And he said at a later date, he'll be telling us how we go about, building up our roster. To me, I mean, there could be different ways they could handle that, right? Every Smash game has had several ways to collect characters. But I almost felt like it could have been alluding to an adventure mode. And if you look at the cutscene for Ridley, it seems like there's a narrative there that could be, a cutscene from a narrative, kind of like a Subspace Emissary sort of situation. So, I do think there's an adventure mode with cutscenes, like you said.
I think what he said is close to the original count of the N64, but it's weird what he said. It was close to, not exactly. So there won't be just 8. It seems like there's going to be or closer to 12, 16. But it's going to be close to N64s, but not exactly. It's weird the way he worded it. But I'm wondering if I definitely think it's going to be tied to adventure mode. I'm just going to predict that right now. It's going to be tied to an adventure mode.
Unlocking the characters, yeah.
I'm wondering if they'll have the base roster will be the main, the biggest character from every series or most of the series, and then the way you unlock them is by playing as if you play as Link, that's how you unlock the different Zelda ones.
I need to go back and watch the Direct where they talked about that part now, because I mean, I don't have to do it right now, but I kind of want to, mainly just because of what you said, to see that wording. How did he word it?
Yeah, it was very weird, close to or something. I think he said, I think it went, the way the picture was, it went to 8, and it was, close to that, and then it bumped up. So I think the one that it bumps up to is probably what's going to be. I don't know. It's really hard to say, and I don't remember exactly how it went, so. Are you watching it right now?
No, I'm debating, skipping around and finding it.
Okay.
I don't know if... I think they'll be able to hear it, too. Let's see. Oh, found it.
Interesting, so it feels like you're constantly recruiting. Roster may be as small as the appeared once in the past. We believe that's what players want, so we made the impossible possible.
All right.
Any way you slice it, this one has the most smash for your buck. Simply put, this is the biggest crossover in gaming history. Once again, worlds will collide. Even so, your starting roster may be as small as the original Nintendo 64 game.
Maybe as small.
We've streamlined the conditions for unlocking fighters, and we want to make the process easier.
Alright, so I guess I feel like it's implying 8 to 12.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it's implying. So, I don't remember what background track I had playing. Oh well. I have no idea. It's super quiet now. I feel like no one's here, even though everyone's probably still here.
They're still here.
Yeah, I know. It's just I cut off the music in the background. It's like I was hearing it the whole time. So yeah.
It's true. It's quiet.
Yeah, so from that it sounds like it's either 8 or 12.
Right.
That's what
I think it's going to be tied to playing the story mode with those characters, and then that's how you unlock them. And I think every character you play as will be different, and I think they're going to make a whole big story around it.
Yeah,
It might be simple, but I think it's going to be different with each character you play.
Right, and I think it's probably going to be more direct. Subspace Emissary, I think there was if I remember correctly, there was branching paths, and it was kind of cumbersome. I think it's going to be more streamlined, a little bit faster, but I think the way you play it, you could get a different experience depending on how you go about doing it.
I think it would be small, short stories.
Oh, you know how they could do it? Actually, it could be kind of like Star Fox, which is Star Fox music is playing in the background. So in Star Fox, right? When you go into the campaign, when you play it, it has branching paths, right? Depending on what you do in a level, you either go towards the harder path, the medium route, or the easier path. So and you can kind of vary and enter different levels and see different cutscenes. So I think it'd be like that. Depending on how you perform in different stages, you will take branching paths you know, and that will sort of fluctuate, and that could ultimately you end up unlocking different characters, seeing different areas, kind of like Star Fox. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like how in my head it makes a lot of sense.
I'm curious if it will be like different short stories for every character. Like if you play as Link, you see Link's short story. You play as Samus, you play as Samus' short story, and then they unlock somebody.
I would like that too. What if they combine those ideas?
That would work. Do you think it will be lame, like
Yes.
like just playing on different stages? Like, what if it was lame and it was just like you play on different stages, but there's cutscenes in between? Like you just fight different things in different stages. Like I want it to be more like an actual like separate thing, like the adventure stage in Melee and Subspace Emissary, where it's like different environments. Like it's not just you're not just playing on stages and then seeing cutscenes.
I don't know.
I want it to be more like a level.
Oh,
like
you mean like jumping from stage to stage and having cutscenes? Yeah, I want a level too. No, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. You know, I think they could.
I think it would. Why would they go? I mean, they had it even back in Melee. They had like special like. It wasn't just stages. Like so, I think it will.
Both Melee and Brawl had worlds to explore.
Real worlds.
Yeah, but it won't be as big than.
No, not as big as Melee, or not as big as Brawl.
Yeah, bigger than the adventure mode in Melee though.
Yeah, I think it'll be bigger, but I think each stage will be about that size because they were actually pretty big. Yeah. But it will be more of them, I think.
Yeah.
And that's how they'll make it more content. Plus, I think the replay value will be much better than in Melee. But Brawl was just like it was stuff so long. Playing through that game took forever, and the stages were huge, and it was not. It needed to be smaller scale stages and stuff. So I think it would be like small short stories that you play through.
I like the idea of it. So I definitely think, I guess to sum things up, because this is the end of the podcast, guys. I'll double check the chat to see a couple of questions. If anything else you want to bring up, put it in now. We're in the closing moments. But I guess so. Like, I think we agree we'll see a couple stages. One of which, New Donk City, probably, right?
Probably.
Which will probably have taxis in it and stuff and things like that. I think we could see 2 characters revealed Wednesday. At least one of them being a newcomer.
Oh.
Another one could be an Echo character, might be a newcomer, I'm not sure. It'd be really cool if it was Banjo-Kazooie, that would just be destruction, right? Do you agree with me that 2 characters will be shown off, or do you think it'll be less or more?
I think it'll be more. I think there'll be like 1 new character and like 2 echoes, 2 or 3 echoes.
Okay. All right. I'd say it's fair. And then for modes, you don't think we will be seeing online stuff talked about? Maybe mentioned, but not talked about.
Yeah, most likely we will not be seeing online. So,
interesting.
For the sake of prediction, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes, just to be contrarian. I do not think it'll be a full online breakdown, though, but I think we'll start getting tidbits. More than just tidbits. So I think a Smash test. I'll be going back on my prediction from earlier, which was I'm predicting that we'll get a Smash test announced on Wednesday, and it'll be used. It won't be on Wednesday. We'll get the announcement on Wednesday, and it'll be closer into September to sort of coincide with Nintendo's new online service. And yeah, so we'll get some details as to how the online will work. But in terms of like, you know, the progression, if there is a progression, or how all the modes work together, that will be for a later date. But I definitely think we will be getting a decent amount of online details. I think we'll finally know if there's gonna be adventure mode or not. We'll get an idea of that, and we're gonna see and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about some of the other modes actually. Maybe we'll hear about board the platforms or you know, target break, stuff like that. Though those are things I could see them sort of showing off like the last month before the game comes out. But at least a few modes we'll be hearing about on Wednesday.
I think they're definitely going to save a bunch of stuff for the last direct. But I think this one will be pretty hype. I think there's going to be something in it, maybe like a Banjo announcer or something that's going to make us go, whoa. And we're going to be like super hyped. Obviously, it's not going to be like every announcement. It's not going to be like, oh my gosh, it's just mind blown. But I think there's going to be one big thing that they're just going to be like, this is like the pinnacle of the Smash Direct. That's what
I think at the very end, they're going to have something that's going to be like, oh, we're going to be screaming.
Yeah, that's when we're going to have the Banjo or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, guys, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat before we call it a night. Brandon Unicorn's asking, do you think Shantae will be revealed in the Direct? I've never predicted Shantae, personally. although she would be really cool. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. That I don't think so. But at the same time, I've heard other people talk about it, so it's possible. What do you think, Brandon?
Shantae?
Yeah. You don't even know who Shantae is, do you?
I know who Shantae is. Shut up. No. I think if any any character's gonna get it, it's gonna be Shovel Knight, and I think it's gonna be DLC.
Maybe, yeah. I'm on more on the side for Shovel Knight, and I don't think either of them will be. If either of them are coming, I don't think it's gonna be tomorrow. I mean Wednesday. 764 is asking one more question: will we see Geno or Banjo-Kazooie? I'd like to see both. I think I'm more.
I think Geno. Or no, I think we'll see both.
I don't know. Not tomorrow. Not on Wednesday. Not on Wednesday. I think Banjo-Kazooie is kind of like that big announcement that will sort of make the internet go crazy. Geno will be really cool, but Geno's not
that cool character. But his history in Nintendo's not actually that big.
He's not going to send waves throughout the internet. It's not going to make Smash extra more trending because of Geno, but Banjo-Kazooie will. So I feel like Banjo-Kazooie, if I had to place my bets, I'd put my money on Banjo.
Banjo.
For being revealed on Wednesday, right? I'm not talking about being in the game, because I feel like Banjo-Kazooie is a crazier prediction than Geno. But if I had to say, yeah, because I think it is. I think it is, because Banjo-Kazooie is no longer really a part of Nintendo. And while Geno is owned by Square Enix, they have the rights to it. I double checked. It's one character that I don't know, man. I think
Banjo is a much more of a Nintendo
I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that Banjo-Kazooie is a bigger deal, right? And there's more communications that have to go on. There's more stakes with Banjo-Kazooie than there is with Geno. Yeah, I would say though. Yeah, because Banjo-Kazooie is owned by Microsoft now, and Microsoft technically is a direct competitor with Nintendo, while Square Enix is a partner to Nintendo, right? They work with Nintendo, so it's a little different. I don't know.
Banjo has a way easier chance of getting in.
Like I said, I'm just saying, in terms of what needs to be done to get the characters into the game, Banjo-Kazooie is a bigger deal. But also because Banjo-Kazooie is a bigger deal, they might place more emphasis on getting him into the game.
I would say if it was anybody other than Microsoft, because Microsoft's dude, please, Nintendo, put Banjo in Smash. They want Banjo in Smash. Square Enix doesn't give a shit if Geno gets in. Microsoft actually wants Banjo in Smash. They want it to happen. They said themselves that they want him in Smash. So it's not like they had to do much with them. Hey, yeah, sure, he's in Smash. I feel like if Microsoft wasn't such a big, so buddy with Nintendo, and they didn't already say they wanted Banjo in Smash, then yeah, you'd be true. Yeah, that'd be correct. But they already said they wanted Banjo in Smash, and they're
right. But are there any ifs? Do they want money? We don't know, what would go on between, those relations that would, what sort of agreement do they have to come to terms with, right? We don't know that. We're literally arguing the likelihood of one versus the other, because we both agree. I've predicted Banjo-Kazooie to be in the game, as have you, right? So, it's I think it should be 55%. No, I think it should be 62.67%. No. Right? I just don't see the point in arguing this right now.
Right.
Mainly because the podcast is ending. That's the only reason. But, so, let me just kind of scroll down, though. But anyways, just to go back and answer the question, if we're talking about Wednesday, per me, I think Banjo-Kazooie is more likely. Brandon, I guess you think Banjo-Kazooie is likely regardless, right? And I think if Banjo-Kazooie isn't announced on Wednesday, if I had to pick for a character that will definitely be in Smash Bros. As opposed to another, I'd pick Geno. I've predicted Banjo-Kazooie just like my gut feeling, but I've also done some research on Geno recently that makes me think that he has a pretty good chance as well. So I feel pretty good about both. So yeah. But let's just see what's going on here with the chat. Final Smash Fierce Deity. I definitely like the idea of that Kazoo the Inkling.
Needs to happen.
And Gino and Kikiru have a big following. That's true. And yeah, Phil Spencer's also says he's definitely down for Banjo and Smash. Lazy Gamer is saying, please tell them they already confirmed the Mario Odyssey stage and Mario's trailer on the website. It's in the background, but we know it's in the game and it's confirmed. But have they had a? Did they feature it? Did I miss that? They haven't had a feature for it yet. That's what we're talking about.
I think he's confused. I think he thinks that we don't know that there is confirmed that there's.
No, we know it's in the game.
Yeah. We know it's in the game.
We're
we
talking
just don't know
about
when
it.
It's going to be announced.
Yeah, because it hasn't been like, oh, this is Super Mario Odyssey. This is how it plays. These are the mechanics in it. That's what we've been talking about. Yeah. Paper Mario for Smash. Oh, here comes the fourth Mario if you count Luigi. I wouldn't mind.
I'd like it, but I don't think it's likely.
I feel like Paper Mario could be like a skin. Yeah. Although Paper Mario has all of his own, has the hammer, and they could definitely come up with a unique moveset for Paper Mario though. So I don't know. Yeah. I do think Phil Spencer's a relatively cool guy. I mean, for someone who works with Microsoft, but I'm just kidding. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for now. We'll be having our reactions and such on Wednesday for the Smash Direct. We'll definitely be talking about it more next Monday, of course, and of course Brandon and I both will be making videos throughout the week. So if you haven't seen Brandon before, make sure to check out his channel. The link is in the description below. And if you enjoyed the show, make sure to give us a like. Subscribing would be nice too if you want to stick around. We cover a lot of Nintendo content. And yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching, everyone. Brandon doesn't want to say goodbye. He's like, oh.
I was waiting for you to say goodbye first.
I thought my goodbye, I guess, was
Your goodbye was very long-winded, I guess. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you later, guys. Bye.